people. It is Friday, Mark's favourite day. Friday the 29th of September. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And let's introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people.
As always, your favourite Shea Queen, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, and of course, the melanin's jam-packed.
Always. How's everyone doing this morning?
We all right.
Yeah,
Can't complain.
love that. What's everyone doing this weekend? I haven't asked that in ages.
I got my son,
Love it. So you're going to be working hard?
basically.
You know, sometimes I want to. I'm not even connected.
I'm not connected. Brent is just trying to
Brent's,
sort out his
Brent's
mic.
connecting.
Brent is loading.
What are you going to say? Sometimes you want kids?
Sometimes I wonder
Now, who says
what my
that?
weekend would be like if I had children.
I'd be tired, Brent, man. I wouldn't be able to go and brunch. I'd have to find someone to babysit for me to go and brunch, go and clink. I can't even brunch too tough because I've got to come back and still be a mom.
Yeah, I still got to find... I ain't got my own childcare. So I got to find some of my own childcare, which I don't have. I don't know how you do that, because how do you trust people to look after your kids?
I don't mind looking after people's kids though. It's always fun. Like
Oh,
my
maybe
niece.
you might be my new babysitter then.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll do that then.
We're fun in my house. But because my nephew's at our house at the moment. He's so cute. I just love that boy so much. He's got his haircut now, and he just be acting brand new. Like he knows he's cute, and he just moves like that. Apparently, his second haircut, he was sat in the barber chair, all there, had the thing on, and he was just ready and just calm. But he's such a lovely character, man. Talking a bit
Man,
more
what do you think you'll be doing?
Sorry, when you said that it will be difficult to find somebody to look after your child, from what vantage point?
What do you mean?
Would you be like, all right, who would actually stick in with it? Because your child's a menace.
No, because people got to do their job.
Do you, if, obviously both your children have different temperaments, right? You and Emmanuel, right?
I watch your daughter too, by the way. So cute.
In my head, obviously because I've spent a little stint looking after young people. Youngest has been probably 5, right? And some of them are absolutely terrible. But then you have to find ways in order to equalize it all out,
Yeah.
right? And it's a nice little bonding experience.
As in you mean
finding
with
that
who they're
particular
with?
thing.
What do you mean equalize it?
So that they behave themselves just like the other children behave themselves without much input,
Okay, yeah.
right? Some just come and they just do what
They're
supposed
told.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said it, I didn't see it from the vantage point of, can I get somebody that isn't going to basically like fiddle with my child? I didn't see it from that vantage point because I didn't think that that's what you have in your head. I thought you were factoring in my child is a little troublesome.
He's active.
Nah, that wasn't even where I was going either. I was thinking,
Like, who can you drop the child with and know that and not have to worry?
yeah, like who
What
just
do you
who
mean
can
by
I
not have to worry though?
just someone that I can just trust. I don't like
Just
just
for what?
Because you know with
to have
some,
my child's
Best interest.
best interest at heart.
So if they just go along with anything that your child says, and if your child's clocked onto that, your child will manipulate that person, and that child might come back comatose.
what does that even mean?
Yeah, but for me, it's just like I don't have someone to call on. Basically, because I was saying to my mum, like she was like, you need to like, because obviously if I got my son in it. It's me that's got my son. If something came up and I had to do something, my
Okay,
childcare is, but it's like tennis, just bounce back over to the other side of the family. Like you know what I'm trying to say, like my mum, sister, baby mum, whatever. I'll just go back that way, innit?
Yeah.
But if I've got him, that's like it shouldn't be on them, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
If I've got him and it's me that's got him,
Should I create
and
another
I
village?
need, and I need some child support. I need to have my own
village that you can rely on.
Rather than just send it back because it's not doing the right thing. And that's what you tried to explain to me the other day. You need to, if that's the case, if you're going to be in a situation, like you need to have like your own kind of childcare. And I'm saying, I don't know who that person is that I'm going to phone and lump my kid on them. That's not, the people that I trust are it's my family, my sister, my mum, his mum, whatever, my brother's baby mother, like, you know, like it's them, innit? I ain't got nobody else that's separate of that I can call and say, yo, can you look after my youth for a bit or whatever, like, and I just don't know who that person will be. I don't know where to find them or how to do it.
Have you got female friends like that?
Esther just said she'll do it.
I would. I look after people's kids, you know.
I probably
don't
have,
mind
but
that.
I don't like imposing on people either. I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't know what position I'd have to be in to go to someone and say like, yo, boom, boom. Maybe like if a friend's got like a you or something, like Loons' daughter, she's good with him and that. Like maybe if she was not doing nothing on the weekend, I could say, yeah, could you take him or something like
How old
that.
is his daughter?
16, I want to say.
Okay.
16 or 17. Why did you say 23?
I'm just going to say I just didn't even look his way. And I hope this is one of the morning news is listening.
Yeah, she's like 16 or 17, like, something like that. But I need to find.
It must be tricky as a parent though, because even like my brother, obviously my brother and my sister-in-law, like I will watch my niece and my nephew any time of day. Like it's not a thing. But even with them, they're always like, "Oh, thank you guys, thank you." And I'm like it's fine kind of thing. But I guess as a parent, you don't want to impose on people and their plans and stuff like that. But it must be difficult because having people that you actually, that you don't have to worry about. Is my child eating? Are they paying attention to my child? Like when I pick up my child, is it gonna have all the teeth that I shot them with? That kind of vibe must be difficult, man.
Would you come down hard on the carers if you did come back and their front teeth were just gone and it's the second pair?
Second pair? What happened to the first pair?
Dropped out.
Yeah, dropped out.
No, but you got to know your kids though. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's certain things. If I said my niece did something, her parents know her, and they know that my child is capable of this. Do you get what I mean? So if they come back and she's got a scratch, it's because sis has been running. The moment this girl could walk, she's never walked in her life. She just runs. So they know chances that she was running and she dropped and da-da-da. Do you get what I mean? So it wouldn't be a thing.
It's not even a thing like that because accidents happen with kids. You know they're gonna fuck themselves up.
Right.
It's just you just got to work out whether this person's been negligible or not.
Yeah.
That's all it really boils down to. Like whose fault is it? Because shit happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where the frustration comes sometimes because then that person will already say it's my fault. And you think to yourself, was it really my child or was it you? Especially like, for example, when you take your kid to nursery.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
nursery.
saying? That's where you start. Your blood will start boiling because you're thinking, is it you people who are just not looking after my kid properly?
I'll be honest, nursery, I wouldn't
You know
trust
what I
them. There's nothing you can tell me that I don't believe that. Even if I know how my child is, but I'm paying you stupid money to watch my child. You should have been paying attention. But if it's like family, I feel like family, I will always take the word because if I was to have kids and I drop my kids with somebody, it would be somebody that, like, I take stuff like that very seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've even thought about, like, God forbid I die, who I'd want to raise my child. I think about stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So if I'm dropping my child to someone, it will be someone who I know that should something happen, should I get held up longer than I need to, you're fine taking care of my child overnight. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. What if your family member, for example, sometimes you look at how your family member looks after their own kids and you think they're a bit, they're not a bad parent, or whatever, but they're a bit more,
A bit
they
loose.
give more, a bit more loose. They give more freedom to the kid.
Yeah, the kid's not going there.
And you think to yourself, why? I wouldn't do this.
The kid's not going there.
Well, what if
Because you can't disrupt my regime. This is the problem. You can't because my niece and my nephew, obviously when it's like a grandma thing, they get all mushy. Like I watch my mum, I'm just like, who are you? So my niece and my nephew, in the house, they know they have a bedtime, blah blah. But whenever they come to our house, because it's their grandma, they know that we can be wild and free, we can have snacks, we can do all these things. But obviously, I feel like they also are aware that when they go back home, you go to bed at the time you. Like I came from the gym yesterday. My nephew, he's like he's 2 in December. This boy is just hyper. And I was like, first of all, I saw you this morning when I was leaving. Why are you still hyper at this time? And my mom was like to me, she was like, oh yeah, because she's like, he knows what he's doing because if it was in his house, this boy's asleep.
Yep.
Do you get me? So, but I feel like if it's somebody like a friend or something, and I see how you treat your kids, like your kids are just free to eat wherever they want. They don't want a meal. You're like, that's fine, just have some crisps. You will never watch my child. because I can't have you disrupting my flow. No, that can't happen.
But it's so interesting to say that, because if it is that you've actually conditioned those children properly,
Yeah,
you tell them, I don't want to hear
That's true,
at
innit?
you.
That's
you're
true.
doing this, that, and the next. So I imagine, because obviously this was also me.
Yeah.
I was allowed to go to other people's houses, right?
Yeah.
I'll be watching them do whatever. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, well, now you said it, actually, that is true. Because I knew how things run in my house, boy. I'm like, this is what you're, but I can't even get involved too tough, because I'm like, just in case my mom catches me in the act. It's like you're acting brand new somebody else kind of thing.
This is it, man.
It's interesting, man.
Yeah, but I seem to only romanticize this idea. You know, as I was telling you, sometimes it just passes my mind, right? It's only in the cute moments. It's never in
Brent.
the other ones.
No, Brent. Do you know what's so funny? Basically, yeah. So yesterday, my nephew had a nap. When he got back home, my mom had gone out. So now he sees my other sister, and now I'm here, right? But obviously, when he woke up in his grandma's bed, because he's been saying Nana too as well, so cute. Because they wake up in her bed, he's expecting her there. She's always there, kind of thing. This boy is crying. There's nothing we could do. No amount of cocomelons, nothing. This boy is. I call my mum. I said, "Hi, where are you?" I was like, "Cause Zion's crying," and she's like, "I'm just." I said, "You to pack your shopping quickly, because there's nothing we can do." And that was a moment where I said, "Yeah, man, this was sobering. Pussy dried up." Because in all honesty, how do you when kids cry? They just cry.
Yeah.
Because you know, at one point in history, that was a form of torture. For criminals, yeah, they would have a sound of babies crying to get them, to frustrate them into, giving the tea they need to give. It's actually one of the torture techniques.
What's a cocomelon?
Oh, it's a TV show. It's like these kids, this little dolly things that the kids are. But that was on, and then he finally calmed down. It was quiet. He was kicking my sister there. I was like, oh. So he was kicking her, and she's trying to change his nappy as well, because I don't want him to get nappy rash. His legs were flying. I said,
So, sorry, in
Yikes.
those circumstances,
Yeah.
what do you two do?
What do you mean?
If your child at the age, what age was it?
He was 1 3/4.
So it's like 3, right? And
I said 1 3. What's your maths? Nearly 2.
I heard what you said, but I want to stop it a bit. wrong this up. 1 3/4. Nick, kicking you. What would you do?
What do you mean kicking me?
So you're trying to calm him down, but he's crying and just kicking.
What?
Kicking, slapping. He's just
Tantrum things.
a whole tantrum.
I'll box him.
What? He's a baby.
Yeah. Ice him. Oh, ice him. Make him. He'll stop. He'll forget what he was kicking and thinking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you something to cry for. It's gonna pause him in his. And then then the real crying is gonna start now. Now you're crying because I boxed you. And now I can
Now
take
that
that.
is justified.
Yeah, now I can take that crying.
Yeah, you can definitely trust me with your kids then, because we were doing all sorts. We're trying to dance. We're trying to literally just being clowns. This boy's saying get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Yeah, cause I don't suffer fools. I can't play these games with kids. So you're upset, you're thinking, you're scratching, but now you're hitting and kicking me. Now you're taking it past the game now. Now I can't play with you no more.
I can't help you.
You're hitting me now. Stop the foolishness now. Regardless of whatever you got going on, I was gonna indulge it, but now you're hitting me. It's done now. You know what I'm trying to say? And if you keep hitting me, you know what I'm trying to say? You're gonna get hit back. So stop it now. I'm done now. I was with you. It was now I'm done. Now you messed it all up.
You need a different level of patience to have kids though. Different level. You got to repeat stuff to kids. I can't get over that. I've got to tell, my little sister, she's 13. But sometimes I have to tell her the same things over and over again. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is your brain not computing what I'm saying? What's happening? You need a different level of patience. And honestly, when he was crying yesterday, obviously, we were trying to console him and everything, and he did calm. He was fine and whatnot. And then I went upstairs here, came out my room, but I shut my door loud. He started crying. He thought it was his grandma. He started kicking again. Then my sister was like, when you go back, you just close your door quietly. Do you get what I mean? But that made me think that the level of patience that you need to be a parent is different, man. I have to unlock that before I have a kid. But not many parents have that patience. Because I see how they interact with their kids.
true.
And how would you respond to that same scenario, Manuel?
At 1 3/4.
Going on 3.
Going on 3. If it is like going on 3, which is like basically not my situation, but around that sort of age, similar to what Mark said, you know. I think at first you kind of indulge it, you're kind of like, you know what I mean? But I probably won't be as, let's say, I don't know. Because I don't know why I'm trying to imagine it as if it doesn't happen. But it's kind of like, yeah, at first, to some degree, right? Again, if they're playing, if they're doing certain things, like, okay, cool. But if they do take it to another extreme, that's obviously when I'll kind of react to it and be like, no, you don't do this. And then obviously, but the thing is, I sometimes feel bad, innit?
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
After obviously I've reacted, you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
She's
You
still a
feel like
girl,
she's
innit?
still a
And
little
and
girl,
looking at me
man.
and crying, and it's like, oh,
Man, her business.
You know what I'm saying?
And you do the same if it was a boy.
Yeah. If not worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think you're supposed to feel a way if it is that you do something that your child tells you that they don't like because it hurt.
Yeah, if you don't, you're a witch, man.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there's discipline and whatnot, but yeah, you should feel bad. Like, if your kid is giving you silent treatment
Yeah.
and they can't even spell silent yet,
Yeah.
gotta feel bad, man. They know that you've hurt them. That they're not talking to you on purpose.
Yeah. And then you cry a bit, and then you tell them, you see what you've maybe.
Yeah, you're don't gaslight. You don't gaslight a 3-year-old.
You see what you done to me.
See what you made me do. Now I'm crying.
we could both do this thing.
I don't say, see what you made me do. I say, look what you brought this on yourself, man. I say, you brought this on yourself. Look what you made happen.
You did this.
Yeah. This is why you got to stop doing this shit, because this is going to happen 10 times out of 10.
That is too
You get
funny,
me?
man.
The thing is that people who could just hear you, right? I don't think they know what your child is like. So they might be looking at their child and then superimposing what you've said onto that and thinking,
But my son's good, though. He's just,
what?
yeah, he's good, man. He's just wild. He's not like rude.
What?
You think he's
He's
rude?
not rude. Was he rude to you?
No, you're not to me.
When you see other people being
We
rude?
didn't really parlay like that. They've given an option 100%. You know that moment when it is that you like, all
I
right,
could even give it an option, you know.
you introduced us and you said like high five him or spot him or whatever. Like for a quick moment, he was deciding, should I or should I not? And in those moments, everything happens.
But that's important, though.
Everything happens.
Because you know what? I feel like it's important to read who your kids don't like. I feel like someone tweeted this, not my word, so calm down. Someone tweeted like kids are like dogs, right? they can see things and sense things that you might not as an adult. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. Obviously, still do it because you're embarrassing me now.
Like he might have just looked at me and thought I'm too dark.
Okay, he's not colourless.
Kids are just temperamental, and you just don't know what you're going to
You
get.
just don't know because they can be in a
from
mood.
day to day. You just don't know, because they don't express themselves. You just don't know how they feel. You just don't know. You just don't know what
You
you're going
just
to get.
don't know. You have to just
You know what I'm trying to
guess.
say that. So you can pull up somewhere and he's as good as gold, or one day he just
He's just not in the
tested,
mood,
he just-
man.
Yeah, he's just not in the mood to be normal. Like,
Normal.
you know what I'm saying?
No, kids can embarrass you though.
And you just don't know what you're gonna get. It's just like
But sometimes
lucky dip.
you raise children where you do know and you expect a particular thing.
But that's by
And when,
a certain point. By that, it's growing
Such
pains,
an
isn't it?
age, yeah.
100%. So at the age in which he is, you just don't know. It's a
No, as a
it's
3
lottery.
or 4-year-old,
You don't know.
you don't know.
I find you gotta take whatever they give you. Because my niece is 6, yeah, but she can be in a bad mood or whatever it is. But when she goes into someone's house or she's around adults, she knows she has to greet them, like regardless how she's feeling.
I
But
feel
when
like
she was free, if she wakes up from a nap and she's in a bad mood, everyone stay clear.
I feel like
of that
by
baby.
like 7, 8, you should have your offspring in order to understand what kind of child this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, you get me? Obviously, there's still room for growth, adolescence changes, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm saying the expectations that I think you're talking about, I think by like, because even 6 is a little young still. 6 is, yeah, six could be anything. Remember the age gaps
if it's a
between
smart
kids,
kid.
there's like 2 years between the school year. That there's, you get what I'm trying to say? I feel like 7 is a decent age. You should know what you got You should know what you got by then.
I would have thought earlier, you know.
Do you think?
I would have thought a bit earlier.
Yeah, but I think that's because
What like you're saying?
Like in terms of like knowing in certain situations this is how they're gonna behave, or they know I expect them to behave this way, and we're here, so they will do it. Rather than still, don't get me wrong.
because that's
like,
a bit late.
What 7, 8?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like from like age, really and truly morning, from age 5, you gotta have some sense with you, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, because 8, what's going on here?
I mean, granted, like every now and again, like you might do something silly. You know what I mean? Like, because the kids, I mean, we even do it when we get to teenage age, years, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like, I feel like overall, they should
I just
know.
give leeway. Like I said, I feel like it's a couple of years, like with the kids. Even when you see kids hanging about with each other with their age groups and all that, a 6-year-old could be a 4-year-old. Like I've seen 6-year-old and 4-year-olds that are not too dissimilar. Like depending on one might be more advanced than the other, whatnot. You don't know what you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's probably my thinking to it.
I will say, to be fair, I am privileged that the kids I've been around are smart kids. As in, they're sharp. It must sound weird, but I don't like dumb kids. You see, I can't deal with it. Like, my patience does not stretch that far. I can't deal with it. So I think when I say 5, I'm thinking about my niece, and I'm thinking about my little sister when she was 5. They're sharp. Do you mean they get it? Do you know what I mean? Like, they get things. But if a kid is just slow, because you know some parents they really cuddle their kids to like, even when a kid is 10, you're still a mug. That's a lot, man. Oh.
See, in those situations,
So kids get someone else.
like, do you know what the thing is, right? Do you feel as though if a child was separated from their parent, and for example, you maybe found them or reunited with them or whatever at the age of 5 or 6, that they could exhibit certain traits that the parent has without being raised by the parent?
Yeah.
If that's the case, do you feel like, how much control do you feel like we have over disciplining these kids and molding them?
We can, yeah, but it's like a old nature versus new nature thing. Because they might never know that this kind of certain qualities are in them, but you will see it show up. But I think as you're the one raising them, I feel like you can alter it to an extent.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you can alter.
That's what I believe. I believe, like, I find I don't see the point.
Because then you must just, it feels like a lost cause kind of thing. But no, I feel like you can definitely instill things in children, regardless of where they've come from. Because even some kids, I look after them, right? Like friends' kids and whatever. And when they're with their mum and their parents' house, they're acting a damn fool. But when they're with me, they got some sense. And the parents are like, oh, how did you get? I'm like, I don't know what you start doing in your house, but do you get what I mean? So I've seen some kids like that where when they're with their parents, they're just moving silly and moving, just being rude to the mum and whatever. But then they wouldn't be that with me. Or when the mum's like, oh, do you want to do this? They're like, no. And I'm just saying, okay, this is always for lunch. I'm not asking you options. This is what we're doing, kind of thing. And they act different. So I think sometimes kids know, they just know, man.
100%. Do you feel like this is the whole imitation thing as well? Like, you know, they say you're always going to find kids who don't do what you say. But I've never found a kid who doesn't imitate the parents' actions.
Yeah, I believe that. Because the things that kids pick up here from when they're young is so interesting. It's so, like, they can pick up anything. Yeah. Even like a word. I remember one time my little sister, when she was younger, someone just said a swear word. She wasn't even talking properly then. This girl decided to pick up the swear word, and she would just say it whenever she just felt like it. And there was a time where she basically put 2 words together. It was so funny. But it's like, okay, this is awkward. Because again, kids will embarrass you. You don't know when she's going to drop this. It could be at a wedding, at a family function. She's like, oh, fucking shit. We're like, what? What do you mean? It was so funny.
Your 3-year-old sister does that?
No, first, my 3-year-old sister does not do that. My little sister, when she was younger, much younger, there was a time when she picked up a couple of swear words from conversation around her. When in conversations, I don't even know how she picked. I honestly do not know how she picked it up. And she just ran with it. Jeez. And the thing is, when they do it, you laugh. So now they think they're telling a joke. Do you get me? So that encourages them, because they're like, oh, it's making people laugh. And it was like, no, stop doing this. It was so funny. I'm gonna put that in the family group chat. That was a funny time.
I guess that's where they say monkey see, monkey do, right?
Oh, no, it's just a monkey.
No, but no. I'm just mean in general.
No,
Where,
in this
like,
day and age.
your kids, I know, it's so rude. Where your kids, where your kids just imitate everything you do. That's why it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
is.
Even having arguments in front of the kids.
Yeah.
and all that.
100%.
So like, I see when you're watching films and there'll be a mother and a father arguing, and then the kid will step in.
Start
and
imitating, yeah.
And then they'll, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm
kids,
just mindful. I'm very, very mindful of stuff like that.
same. Because I feel like their minds are like sponges and they're just soaking everything up. And their brain is still developing until that they're like early teens. So there's literally so much that they can soak in.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Well, thank you for coming to our parenting class. Quick question of the day. Can you name a song that always makes you feel empowered?
There's a few. Got a couple.
Mine is any song by the girls.
By the who?
By the girls.
By the girls.
Girls.
Yeah, City Girls.
Okay,
City girls, yes.
Okay.
City girls, Glorilla, Cardi. It just adds a little pep in my step for whatever it is I'm going to do. Tend to listen to them when I'm like on my way to the gym or something. I'm like, let's do this. And so I'm going to be in Cardi's next video.
I was listening to one earlier on, funny enough, on the way here.
One of the girls.
No. On tune. Dr. Dre on the Chronic album, Nigga with a Gun.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just old school and just raw and gym type music, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
I'm trying to think, you know.
I'm sure you got a few.
I must do, but I don't know.
They're just saying on the top of your head right now. And you'll leave here and they'll come back to you.
I'm thinking Hate Me Now, you know. Nas, Hate Me Now.
Hate me now. It's a big tune though, still.
I did you.
I don't get empowered by music, I don't think.
What empowers you?
Just why.
Or what empowers you?
I don't know. What's
How are you like seeing? Because I'm seeing it as like kind of motivating. Is that
Yeah.
what you
I
mean?
Yeah,
would
I'm
take
thinking
more
that,
of-
yeah. Because if it's songs that give me like confidence, so that's a different situation.
Nah, that's not really. I don't really not confident. Motivation, yeah, but not confidence. That's
music can't don't it?
That's what.
Music can
Are you about to cuss me?
music can cheer me up.
yeah. That's like comedy though, isn't it? Like
It can cheer me up with like say like help dictate my mood and stuff.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
My daughter gets very jealous. Yeah, there's kids like that, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
super jealous from early, isn't it?
I've seen that with like, first of all, do you know how long it took me to, how many frogs I had to kiss to get this man, and then now you're kind of compete? Girl,
Yeah,
think I should side hand the man.
Jealous from early, innit? For real.
I've heard, yeah, with the girls, they go for like, I don't know what that means, sorry.
You don't know what it means.
Like, I don't understand that. This is my man. First of all, we added you into this equation.
Territorial, innit?
That's funny. How are we going to move along? Because I'm territorial over my man, so.
Kids are territorial from early, bro.
Daddy issues.
God forbid.
That's over daddy issues. Daddy obsession issues.
What made you put that on?
Vibesy asked to put it on the screen.
Okay.
Remember, she's normally like 5 minutes behind.
Why she was does she listen in 0.1? Why she was behind?
I think it's a conscious decision at this point in time. Just rebellious.
She's rebellious. Bren, have you got a song?
Oh yeah. Rap niggas.
Excuse me.
Who's that? Nipsey Hussle. You love that
I don't
song.
feel like it was a sweet girl song.
Nope.
Okay. Love that. All right, well, let's get into our headlines.
Said Roger.
All right, so our first headline. Rishi Sunak is set to announce a series of measures at a Conservative Party conference that will prioritise the interests of car owners and potentially clash with environmentalists and local councils. These measures, part of the plan for motorists, are expected to include limiting the number of 20 miles per hour speed restrictions on main roads and favouring drivers over bus passengers. This shift may lead to conflict with local authorities that rely on such restrictions to keep bus lanes traffic-free. Sunak's proposals is part of a broader strategy to create clear policy distinctions with the Labour Party and revive the government's popularity. It follows previous contentious ideas, including the relaxation of net zero emission targets and the possibility of scaling back the HS2 rail project, which has faced budgetary challenges. We spoke about it the other day. The plan for motorists is anticipated to restrict English Council's authority to impose 20 miles per hour speed limits on main roads, limit the hours during which car traffic is banned from bus lanes, and curb local authorities' ability to generate revenue from fines related to traffic infractions caught by automatic number plate recognition cameras. It may also address concerns about 15-minute cities, which is an urban planning concept that aims to reduce the need for extensive travel by locating essential services closer to homes. These measures are likely to generate controversy as they balance the interests of car owners against environmental and public transport concerns, potentially reshaping urban mobility policies in the UK. Next headline, about Trump. And the New York Appeals Court has rejected the former president Donald Trump's request to delay a civil fraud trial against him, clearing the path for the trial to commence next Monday. In this case, Trump and 3 of his adult children are expected to be called as witnesses. The trial follows a ruling by the New York judge Arthur Engoron, who held Trump liable for business fraud. The New York Attorney General Letitia James alleged that Trump, his 2 adult sons, and the Trump Organization inflated property values by over $2 billion to serve their business interests. The judge's ruling on Tuesday supported these allegations, finding that Trump had misrepresented his wealth by hundreds of millions of dollars. Despite Trump's legal team seeking delays and asserting their innocence, Thursday's appeals court ruling means the trial will proceed as planned, with the judge Engoron proceeding over the bench trial. This non-jury trial could span up to 3 months. And the last headline, the US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, met with India's Foreign Minister, Mr. Jay Shankar, amid a growing dispute between Canada and India concerning allegations of Indian government involvement in the killing of a Sikh activist in Canada. Blinken and Jay Shankar discussed various issues, including India's G20 presidency, economic corridors and defense cooperation, but did not directly address the controversy during their brief comments to reporters. However, a US official mentioned that the topic was raised and Blinken encouraged India to cooperate with the Canadian investigation. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has previously stated that Blinken would address the matter and encourage India to cooperate with the investigation into the killing of Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was murdered in Canada. The US has taken allegations seriously and acknowledged that the fallout could impact relations with India. India has dismissed the allegations as absurd and accused Canada of harboring terrorists and extremists while implying that Trudeau was appealing to the Sikh diaspora for domestic support. Trudeau also, last bit here, Trudeau emphasized that Canada does not want to rupture ties with India, but stressed the importance of working together to uncover the full facts of the matter. The dispute has put the US in a delicate position as it seeks to navigate the tension between its northern neighbor Canada and India, which is a crucial player in the Indo-Pacific strategy aimed at countering China's influence in the region. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. You weren't sure. Why did you say it like that? All right, let's get into what you say in topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day is going to be based on some news that Esther gave us yesterday.
On Word on Road, I'm so proud of myself. Sports scale.
So this is about Colin Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
I received a message from Christy, so big up Christy, the queen of BOE.
Big up, Christy.
And she's basically saying...
She's shaking her boots.
And so she kind of wanted us to kind of delve into the situation a bit and kind of ask certain questions about this particular situation. For those who don't know, Colin Kaepernick, a letter came out, right? That was released by J. Cole, right?
Yeah. Big up J. Cole.
With Colin Kaepernick's permission. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
So basically, and in this letter, he's basically asking the Jets if he can come back. Basically, he wants a job with them, right? And he's pretty much given 2 reasons. One reason is basically, I think I'm in a good position to kind of help train the practice team. You know what I'm saying? I basically just want to be involved, right? And second reason is, I want to present myself as a contingency plan. If someone gets injured or whatever it may be, I want to show that I'm serious and I can take on the role and I'm still fit to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm still levels, right? Obviously, like I said, there's been a pushback from both sides. Brent did a poll, so we're going to look at people's opinions in the chat. But pretty much some people are saying, wait a minute, this makes sense. Like, at the end of the day, it's not like he was trying to be a bad guy and just cause trouble for no reason. He was trying to address some systemic issues with this particular organization or institution, the NFL, right? With the whole taking a knee and everything like that. But he shouldn't have to give up his career and his passions. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should he have to do that? For justice. Like, we should be afforded these rights, period. But some people are saying, wait a minute, but that's what you sign up for as an activist, as a freedom fighter. Like, you've undone all the good work. Why are you going back to the slave master and asking for a position on the slave plantation?
I mean, who else is giving him a job anyway? Since he ain't been in work for how long?
For, I don't know, for years now.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you just send to him, please?
Yes.
was I not sent? Was I not? No.
You've done nothing wrong. I think there was a person yesterday.
I haven't been working. Cool. I hear you.
He's a
Loved
dramatic.
Kourtney.
Who?
The guy who was sitting in the same seat as you yesterday.
Oh, what's he like? Cool peoples.
Yeah, he was, man.
You loved him. Rich loved him. Or people loved him.
He would love him. Yeah.
Oh, you would have. Oh, yeah. He was
Well-
really, really cool.
What was that talking about? Quickly.
He does a lot. So he works with young boys. So he's got a Spanning Boys project that he
Okay.
does, working with like young boys, mental health, all that kind of stuff.
Like that. I like the pink.
Um,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, he was really, really cool. Really, really
Yeah.
good vibes.
He's working with young guys for mental health. Yeah.
No, like so he works. He
Oh.
does like projects basically at
Okay.
in many schools,
Yeah.
and it's like an 8-week program, and then it's just to help them in like different areas of life. But he highlights the importance of mental health and all that kind of stuff
Okay.
with the schools and stuff like that.
His mind is free and liberated.
Yeah.
You are the same type of vibe. So.
Have to,
Yeah.
have to be. Have to be.
Sorry.
Yeah, he dresses like you too.
Yeah.
All right,
Why are you hating because you can't do pink like that, bro? It's all right, man.
I wear pink.
I can see in a pink number.
I've wore pink on here before.
Oh yeah.
It's on my first rodeo.
Whatever, mine. Yeah, I think it's wild that he's been out of work for so long. Like, so basically, if you go against the establishment and you say what you say, they're basically saying there's no coming back. You will die on that hill. And like, obviously, there were certain people taking a knee of him back then, and those people quickly stopped. Like, I just, again, it's been years. Like, I don't even know if that could happen over here, if that makes sense, to that degree.
Oh, that's Christy.
You might have to call back. Hello? Yeah, call back.
Do you know what it is, yeah? I feel like as someone who sets out to be an activist, you know the sacrifices you have to make. He didn't set out to be an activist. He just stood up for what was right. I feel like the public are the ones that have labeled him an activist. And so they're like, well, you should be content. Like, you should walk in this activism role now.
Yeah.
But that's not why I didn't stand up for that. I just spoke against injustice. Doesn't make you an activist. So I don't think he's a sellout or anything for wanting to get his job back.
But didn't he become an activist though? Because he may not have intended to be in the beginning, but then like when people labeled him that and he took that helmet on, like it's like he's become that now.
Wait,
and he's been fine with being the face of it.
Didn't Nike
Hello,
do
good
an
morning.
advert?
Sorry.
Wait a minute, please. Thank you. Go on.
Morning caller.
So I was morning caller. I was about to say, didn't Nike do an advert? And then he was on. It was so. I just remember seeing that advert, and basically they made money off it.
Yeah.
Like off this. Anyway, shout out to Nike.
Good morning,
Morning.
caller.
Hi, morning, guys. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to call up briefly about what I think in terms of what he's trying to do and what this shows, because we've got to remember this is a job that he's basically been trying to do since he was in his early teens. I don't think if he's physically fit to do it, I don't think it stops in terms of he can still say that the organization is racist. He can still say he's trying to stop other issues where he's trying to show, the black boy and the black people and still work within the organization. Because if we think about, like, I know it's not exactly the same, but if we think about Muhammad Ali and when he had his issues with enrolling into the Vietnam War, he was still an activist that eventually still went to boxing. He was still part of the movement, but still using his original job that he was able to get back to, even though they were saying to him he couldn't box because he wouldn't enlist into the army.
But you're kind of leaving certain parts out. Remember, Muhammad Ali didn't beg nobody. Muhammad Ali didn't ask for nothing. Like, they stripped him and he was fine with going to prison, standing up for his religious beliefs and everything. Like, Colin Kaepernick.
And but I don't think we can say that as soon as they stripped Colin Kaepernick, he didn't have that period where he sat down. He did have that period. And I think what he's now saying is, we've had the conversation. I'm still an activist, but I'm also still someone that can do this job. So I think we still have to take into account he's an athlete, and he was an athlete first, and then became this person afterwards, seeing everything and seeing, well, I have a voice. I'm trying to be that voice, and I can still be that voice and still do what me to do.
And you feel like, so you kind of sympathize with him, and you feel like it's okay what he's done. Because to me, right, I'm kind of seeing it like, obviously I'm going to be presenting different sides to the argument, but like, how
you
do
always
you
do this fine.
how do you say, how do you condemn an institution, an organization, say it's racist, you don't want to be part of it, I guess in you know, in some words, right? And then afterwards, now ask for write a letter and say, you know, I want to be part of your situation. Has things changed?
He needs to get paid.
Activism.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, we can say, the black community can say, oh, but you stood up for this, blah, blah. But how many people are contributing to pay man's bills?
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
He's at some point, he can do both.
Didn't he just
But
say
he's doing well.
he got money though from
Yeah.
something? He got like 100 million or something.
Something like that from Nike. He's not broke.
Is that facts though?
I think so.
No,
Yeah, but when you pay tax on
I
that,
don't
got
know
some
if that
percentage
went
of like,
directly to him. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
but
if that went directly into his pocket.
Yeah, but Kaepernick's not broke.
no,
Kaepernick's not
Nike
broke.
made a lot of money from
Michael
that whole
Jackson
scandal.
was broke. We can't speak to people's pockets. People be broke.
No, but what we're taking away is what I'm trying to like portray is his passion.
Mm-hmm.
His passion can be both. So his passion can be, I still want the betterment of black people, but at the same time, this is something that I know I can do well, and this is something that I still have wanted to do. Because if we talk about when he started it, he's always said, I still want to play football. He's always said that. And I think the way it comes out, it does come out like he's begging, but I don't know if necessarily he's begging or he's just putting the point across. Same way when you write in for a job, you might be an activist in terms of you still want certain policies done for black people here, but you have to work. Now, if you say to someone in an organization that you think doesn't portray black people well, I want to come and show blah, blah, blah and get paid for it, is that you begging? Or is that you just saying, I want to be paid even though I know what you're doing, I still want to come and show my own personal point, but still, you know, get compensation for it.
I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, because at the end of the day, if he's going to be working with them, you should definitely get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Time is money. But I think what kind of seems kind of tainted to me, right? What taints this whole situation is the fact that he was so strong about saying that these people are racist. It's like a plantation. The man labeled a plantation. We know the legacy of plantations.
Him too, you don't have to go that far.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
you can't say it's a plantation and then say, you know what, slave master.
but
You know what, I'll be very good
at
at the
what
door.
he's saying though. Like, I get what he's saying though. Basically,
No, but then he shouldn't lie. Don't lie to us then. Don't tell me
But
it's a
he meant
plantation.
it though at the
That's how you
time.
feel.
Oh, so what, so is it no longer a plantation?
Is he lying?
Is it no longer a
Is
plantation?
he lying?
to-
though?
okay.
Because-
The farm.
No. I'm talking more of people being able to speak out, because I think he was saying at the time, I get the fact that, you know, it's still a horrible situation in terms of the initial backlash of everyone saying, oh, if you kneel, you'll, you know, and Donald Trump and all these other things. But I think it's more of, sorry, I've got a delivery coming in. It's more of him just basically saying, listen, it's an issue that I want to talk about, but it's also a place where I can come in. It's the same thing when we say people becoming police. I think it's a similar kind of thing where people then come and say, oh, I can be the chain that comes in later.
See, this
You know,
I'm not hearing that.
Right there.
I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm just saying that's one of those things that people do say. But yeah, anyway, guys, I've got to go.
Thanks,
yeah.
okay.
Thanks for the call, man.
Do you know what it is, yeah? That's his passion, man. And you know, like, essentially, him not doing that is, like, his freedom is capped to an extent. And I feel like you can be both things. You can speak against inequality in society, because the reality of life is that the organization and whatnot, I don't know if they've gone on to be less racist since he took the knee. They haven't. It's carried on the way it has. Do you get what I mean? And so sometimes what you have to realize is the bigger system. Sometimes the system is bigger than what it is that we're doing. But he never. I feel like people put that label of activist on him. Yes, he went on to then have other conversations and whatever it is and do whatever he did, but he did not set out to be an activist. If he quit football, I was like, I'm going to focus solely on activism and stuff like that, then I would understand that.
He was the face of the movement. He set the pace.
No,
whether
but
that was intentions or not,
made him the face of the movement.
he set the pace. And
Oh,
whether it was
made.
intentions or not, he done what he done. Yeah, you get what I say. So he is what he is, and regardless of whether he's activist or not, yeah, he should have a bit more flipping
Be corrupt.
sort of respect.
So what? So
Like, why would he want to work? These people, yeah. Why would he want to work for one of these white men
Whether
again?
you want to work for
He's
them,
gonna
but
have to-
who's putting money in his pocket? That's what I want to know.
He got a payoff from the NFL. Yeah, he's got.
Half of it would have gone taxes.
He's got his own line coming out with Nike. You get me? He's a brand ambassador. He'd be doing stuff. He could probably do talks and things. He can generate money. It might not be the same amount of money he was making in the NFL, but he can still generate money.
But you know
And
the
obviously,
issue
I'm
then?
stubborn. These lot colluded and got together and forced him out of his job.
Yeah.
None of the owners, he couldn't get another contract. Yeah?
That's crazy.
None of the owners would hire
That's
him. Yeah.
crazy.
They're hiring other people, yeah, that are lesser qualified than him, like meaty
that's a good
quarterbacks.
point.
You get what I'm trying to say? They've blackballed him. I'm saying, me personally, on a stubborn flow, I wouldn't want to work for none of these man.
You wouldn't want to go.
But
back
think
there.
about all the
Anyway.
things he's
But
releasing
even
and
just
stuff
the
like that,
principles
yeah.
thing.
This is what I'm saying. I ain't going back to
Nike
these,
and
man.
whatnot. But how many people, who's buying it? Because you know what it is? I feel like my thing was that people not forced him, but people made him the face of this challenge or whatever. What he did went viral and it picked up. He just did whatever he did. Didn't think about. I don't feel like he was trying to build a career off it. Because if he was trying to build a career off it, he wouldn't be trying to do exactly what he loves. You get what I mean? I feel like when you decide to do something like that and you want to be an activist or whatever, you know the sacrifices that you're making. This man's got bills like everybody else. This man has a passion like everybody else. I don't feel like it's fair for him to be branded a sellout or whatever because he wants to go back to doing what he loves. Because the reality is that the system is still at play.
Yeah, but he's famous.
And it's gonna
He's a
be there even
brand.
after his time.
He just needs the right team. He can generate coin. Like,
I
he's
think-
Colin
But
Kaepernick.
what if he doesn't enjoy that though? Because the thing, sorry,
Go,
Rich.
go.
There's a lot of, do you know what it is? We're speaking up for movements and all this stuff, yeah? It's a lot of pressure.
He shouldn't have took the knee then.
Listen,
but
the
he wanted to
movement
be-
don't
that was-
pay.
If he
No,
cares
no.
more about football, he shouldn't have took the knee.
No. It's
Oh,
like,
you
it's
can't
like
look at
us
it like
having
that,
conversations
man.
on here every day, yeah?
These are the reactions. These are the consequences of his actions.
No, but Mark,
These are the
Come
stuff
on,
that
come on,
happened.
man,
I'm not
come
talking
on.
about with, like, it's easy to say with hindsight, but these are the consequences of his actions. These are what happened, innit? Like,
No,
you know what
but
I'm trying
it's
to say?
like us having
So
conversations that we do here every
he
day.
should stand in it though. Now we're standing in it. Whether that was his
No,
intention,
but-
that's what he wanted. The issue of police brutality and all this stuff, yeah, and stand up for that flag should still mean the same.
So what we
it
saying
meant
is-
to him
Sorry,
then.
so what we
So
saying
these
is
are just the
not standing on it
consequences.
'cause he
Just
wants some
hug it.
coin.
Just hug
Apparently
it.
so. But the thing is, yeah, okay, it's like we have conversations here every single day, right? It's like you just making a past comment. Let's use the just because I can't think of anything else, the grooming thing. Let's say you did say, do you know what, all of that stuff is grooming. And because you've said that now, people know that you're a rapper, you're respecting the community or whatever now. Now you have become the face of anti-grooming. Now people have placed this responsibility on you to go on every platform consistently talking about grooming or whatever. And because you're so busy in all these other publications, now you can't do no behavior no more. Now you could, hey, wait. You
If
can't
I was
do-
weaker, that's what they would have wanted me to do. If I gave a shit
Can I say
what
something
anybody
else, yeah?
thinks, that's what I would have had to do.
You're an egg.
I would have
Shut
had to
up.
go on a campaign to clear my name.
Out of it, man. What's
I'm
this
not.
guy
But
talking
I'm
about,
not
man?
saying based on what it is that you did say. I'm saying, say you did say like this was grooming, and because it came out of your mouth, everyone's like, do you know what? This is the most it went viral, and so now everyone's expecting on all these platforms to be doing this. Because of that, now you are now unable. Everyone's like, well, you're now activists for young people for
Yeah,
Now
I
you
get it.
can't do no behavior. Now you can't do TDA or whatever it is. But then now you're like to Brent, listen, I know
Brent, I want to come back.
But he never had the problem with Brent.
if you want to now go back in the podcast and people are like, well, you're a sellout.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's your passion. That's what you enjoy doing. Just because people have placed you in this box of you're an activist That doesn't mean you can't go back to what you can. Two things can be true at once.
But
You can stand against racism and be a football player.
100% agree with that, right? But I think the situation is
Someone on the phone, right?
one second, caller, right? In fact, I'll come back to that. Good morning, caller.
Morning, caller.
Morning.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. I did want to speak before Iman spoke to give him a chance to defend himself because, guys, one second. There's freedom of speech.
Who else?
I feel like at the time that Colin Kaepernick chose to kneel, he was just choosing to kneel. Freedom of speech is supposed to be a real thing. I really don't understand, and even because I kind of feel like Iman is sounding a little bit like those Tories when Rashford and them lot want to do their thing on the pitch and stuff. Little bit, teeny bit. And I don't really see. I think if freedom of speech was actually a real thing, I don't think what he done would have really snowballed into what it snowballed into. And then Iman did make a slightly fair point about mentioning like, oh, why are you likening it to kind of being on a slave ship? What did he say? Whatever he said. All I know is I think if you go and read into it, I think he made some potentially poetic and metaphorical analogies that actually were quite accurate. That is the reality. And I think that's even like when it comes to young men and like kind of the effort that they put in to the game. And there's nothing that he said that was not true. And I think as well, like, if you think of it as a career and not just a job or even a passion, much like the young people that he tried to speak up for, he has been trained to do this for his whole life. So you can't blame him for like not to be part of it. And I definitely think like it like I'm sure if you look at the American Constitution or whatever, like he's been there with his freedoms. One would say, okay, just shut up and play ball. Well, that's not freedom of speech. And then one would argue that just because he chose to speak up for something, it doesn't then mean that he is not allowed to do something that he's actually quite qualified to do, i.e. coach. I know he's probably not the best player right now to do the one things, but I know for sure he could coach. Like, so that doesn't really make much sense to why like kind of these people that are telling him he should be quiet. Like, because it was us and our job. Like, do you know what I mean? Like literally, like Esther Rubin and shit about moms already. But like, I think if we thought about that in our actual lives, I know we would say, okay, we should sharp then. Well, that's not really the world we want to live in. In the ideal world, we would all want to speak and then still have our jobs or careers or our passions and not lose everything to speak up for something that actually we know is right. And actually, there ain't really much of a lie of anything that he told, to be honest. I'm kind of still waiting on it. Like, from what I remember, he didn't really exaggerate, to be honest with you. Because when you actually look into like the whole thing of like college football and all this kind of stuff, like there's nothing that he really lied about. But that's all I had to say.
So, Vibes, yeah, quick thing, yeah. How did that sound like the Tories and Rashford thing? Just so I can understand.
Yeah. So people that might not be aware, at the time that like Rashford, etc., were taking a bow for Black Lives Matter, racism, scary. If you go to Twitter, you see people like they were just going in, like they're being so you weren't literally like them, but basically the general thing was, oh, just sharp and play ball. Oh, they're making this a political thing. Meanwhile, they're just simply taking a knee while we're doing something. We're not even being too disruptive here. And like people just go in, and that's kind of how like there was just a lot of racism and stuff like that. But like, I'm not saying you literally being like them, but generally people that were even trying to not come across as racist, they were just kind of just moving on the like just sharp and play ball type thing. This isn't your job. You're meant to just play football. Why are you making this a political demonstration? And it's like no, they just need it. Like I mean, it's political, but like they're taking a stand for something. We're meant to be human beings and individuals, and I feel like we have. Yeah, I want to live in a world where that's kind of respected, basically, where possible. And people like Colin Kaepernick, because they choose to, I don't know what the word is, push the mantle forward, because they choose to actually like be the one that likes the match kind of thing. It doesn't mean necessarily they should be completely ostracized from society. What does that even tell our kids moving forward? Like, let's be serious now. Some of the next generation, like I know I have friends who's Latino, and like, because I think someone made a joke and said who's buying his stuff or something like that. She actually like loves this guy, and she's literally talking about him, and she's so passionate and it's so cute. I don't blame her because she lives in Florida, which is not the best state anyway. So, and she's Peruvian, as you know. So afterwards, my point is just like, so like what, like imagine he now was to never play football again. And like, God forbid he was to go broke, which I doubt that will happen to him. Like, what does that tell the next generation of inverted commas freedom fighters who don't want to speak up? It tells them that we should shut up then because they're not going to lose everything.
It doesn't tell them to shut up, It tells them that if you're going to say, it tells them, like the freedom fighters prior to that, like Muhammad Ali, that if it means going prison, I'm going to go prison. It means if I have a problem with the boxing federation, I'm not going to box again. I'm going to give up my titles, and I'm not going to ask to come back. That's the difference, and this is why people have a problem with Kaepernick,
So
we can't just say, oh, you know, he should be able to do this and do this. No, the reality is this, right? And let me read something to you quickly, yeah. Because he had the Netflix documentary thing, right? And basically, this is what he said in the thing. He said, what they don't want you to understand is what's being established is a power dynamic. Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respect, no dignity left intact. That same scene transitions to an open market in America's slavery era, where the players, shirtless and shackled, are then sold before one of the slave owners shake hands with a football coach. He's making it clear what this is. At that point in time, at that point in time, he wasn't asking for a job, right? He might have been comfortable being an activist, this and that. Maybe he didn't miss it as much. Maybe 3 years wasn't that long, right? Bear in mind, he wasn't in prison. But anyway, he's now come and written a letter talking about, I want to come back. I'm asking for a job. Guys, even if you don't want me to be a coach, or even if you don't want me to be a player, I still can offer my services as a coach. What does that say to people who believe that this guy was really about the movement? Because again, like Esther said, and I agree, I don't think he necessarily put his hand up to say, I want to be activist of the year. He was a normal man. Wait. But he didn't turn it down, right? And he became the face of it, and he made interviews, and he tried to represent everyone, and kudos to him, right? But once you've taken on that position, and heavy is the head, you know what I'm saying? People are now saying you represent us. If you representing the people, right, who have a problem with the establishment, now go back to the people and say, listen, I want to come back to your side. I want to work within the organization that poked and prodded me, right, that I called a plantation. What does that say to people who looked up to him as an activist? What does that say to any movement out there? You're not representing the people properly.
Please, I want to hear your opinion, but Brent should do a poll. What do people think about that nonsense Jay-Z, that link up he did with the NFL, claiming that he was going to do a something? I think Brent should do a poll on that, because I think that's a bunch of bullcrap anyway.
What thing? What did Jay-Z do? Explain it, please.
So basically, not too long after the Colin Kaepernick thing, maybe within a year later or something, I'm sure Maggie can tell us more information, but basically Jay-Z partnered with or tried to get a share in the NFL or something. Okay. And then people put him out on it, like, oh, I'm trying to do it to change stuff. And he didn't go, like, let's be serious, you know what I mean? So, or does someone else know more information than that's kind of what I know about it?
Oh, sorry, do you have a problem with Jay-Z buying a part of the company?
No, because
I brought it up here because I wanted the audience to vote on it, because people brought it up the other day, had different opinions on it. Okay. But I brought it up because I feel like you personally, man, forget saying bounce that you're Tory. I think you definitely got capitalist. I feel like you think that Jay-Z did something right when he did that, right? Like, I feel like you would be on his side, no?
That what for buying shares in the company? Is that what you're saying?
Basically,
like,
he said he can do more damage inside.
Yeah,
and the different ways to basically skin the cat.
Yeah, I mean,
they were asking Jay-Z, is Jay-Z gonna give him a job? And Jay-Z was like, well, we spoke about this already, haven't we? Such and kind of just palmed it off. So I think that's what she's referring to, because he got
give Kaepernick a job.
Yeah, at the time,
okay,
because he got the shares or part in a football club, and then they asked him, are you gonna give Kaepernick like a job or X, Y, Z?
Is that what you're referring to, Vabzy?
Has to
so
be.
you know, Rich has even added more to it. We love Rich. We stand. I was saying the fact that even Jay-Z trying to even partner with the NFL, he filled people with delusions that he was even going to do something anyway about the very real things that Colin Kaepernick said.
Yes.
Okay.
And I wanted to say something that a lot of people that I didn't know that Colin actually tried to get a job for him, which is a shame. But a lot of people might not know about like the intricacies of college football. He wasn't like it was metaphorical. It might have been a slight exaggeration, but he wasn't wrong. Like, really, they really be doing shady deals like that. They genuinely be put way through school and they don't know jack of nothing, but they just make sure that they can just about pass. Like, it actually is that real. Like, to be honest with you, like, everything he said is not, like, it's not wrong. And I know that just from watching this American football. So all I'm going to say is just to highlight the fact that what Esther said is very true. He was actually a normal man. And to be fair to him, he didn't really from my understanding, he didn't really grow up very, very like pro-black kind of thing. So it's like in that moment, he was also learning about everything as well. So it meant a lot to him. So very much so, we're actually seeing in real time in front of us, I guess, inverted commas, an activist being born, I guess. So I personally can't fault him for like speaking up as he did. just because, and obviously once he started losing things, then yeah, he was going to take deals. He's not going to want to like kind of not make any money. But I don't see, when you said about the next generation and stuff, I was like, no, because like I said about Nigeria, not everyone should have to go to prison. It doesn't really make it very attractive. Yeah, you sacrifice something, it's fine. He's taking the L. Like he wasn't begging them from the start. But it doesn't mean you should be, that's the thing, it's not actually right. He actually shouldn't be X'd out of his actual life passion, something that literally he has basically been focused on since he was a child, because you don't just slip into these things, guys. And then just because he actually chose to speak up the truth. I'm saying, like, do you know what I mean? And obviously, and one would argue that he will make more of a change than Jay-Z would. 110% he would. Because the way in which that he made the analogy about treating them like thingy, I'm not gonna lie, like, they can't, obviously, I'd like to think they didn't make them naked or anything, I'm sure, but literally, any little injury they have, any little anything, they really be doing deals behind it. Like, it actually is that real. And I feel like it's like, I know that's business, but no, it's not. You look at it in your own time. That's your own private homework. But I'm saying to you that they actually do exploit the children, genuinely. And I'm saying to you that the role that Colin Kaepernick could have as a coach would 110% make more of a difference than whatever role Jay-Z pretended to have when he went to his black capitalism and just make an excuse when we wanted to flame him. He was going to make a change. He wasn't aiming to make a change for anything. And Colin Kaepernick could make a much more different change from the role that he was going to do. And I don't think that we should be telling people that, hey, do you know what? If you speak up for something you believe in the moment, don't do that, because you can lose everything. And you're never going to make money in your life. And you might have loved this job you have, but you're never going to be able to work in it again. No, that's not what we should be telling people, personally.
It's not about what you should be telling people. What you should be telling people is the truth. The reality is, if you're saying something is corrupt, it's wicked, it's racist, right, and it's akin to slavery, it's a plantation, then why are you going back there? Are you going back there to change it and take over the slave master, or work with the slave master? Take over the slave master or work with the slave master. It's very simple.
That's my point. So you, I know you were not on Twitter saying that Jay-Z was working with the slave master.
I don't even know the story. I don't even know the story. I don't concern myself with these people.
You're saying, money.
No. Sorry, Vibesy. We reported on this.
Yeah, but I don't remember all this type of thing.
Like we talked about
the way I see it is this, very simple, right? If Jay-Z wants to buy some shares in the company, let him buy shares in the company. It's business. This is the world we live in.
It's like he wanted to do it for a long time, and like I didn't see it.
So there's nothing to be said for you to hold in Jay-Z to the same standards as you're holding Kaepernick.
Why?
Sorry.
Is Jay-Z an activist?
Wait.
So is Jay-Z the guy to support? Is he what is he doing? Is he supporting the slave master, or is he?
He was used to clean up the ills and the racism that was attached to the NFL.
Who Jay-Z was?
Yes, that's what he used him as.
Why did he buy the shirt? Why didn't he come in as an employee? Huh? Like why is he not working alongside it?
It was a partnership.
Rather than buying
announced it. It was a big rollout.
So now you're saying it's cool because he is the slave master.
No, it's not even that. But it's him saying to himself, okay, you know what? Maybe I can do some work if I own this particular thing. Because maybe you could own the plantation and free everyone. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can do that. Rather than saying, you know what, I'm going to take on kitchen duties.
But it wasn't true, and he's not done it.
It was strategic by the NFL to do that. It was strategic, Emmanuel. And the time we had the discussion on here at the time.
And what did I say?
I can't remember.
Okay, all right.
But
you're gonna have to pull it up tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm saying it. Regardless of all the extra stuff here, what rationalization have you done in your mind to where you don't have no vim towards Jay-Z for it? Actually, you even understand it. You know even why? Support it. You're saying it's business. Go and get in beds with the slave masters.
Mark, thank you, Mark.
But
I'll tell you why. Because I don't think Jay-Z has ever said he's an activist. That's the point. The point is, the guy's never said I'm an activist. He's told you from day dot, I'm a capitalist. Man was a rapper from 1996 talking about money, cash, hoes. What the hell do you think he wanted? What else did you expecting? He never took the knee. What are you doing here?
Money, cash, hoes. I like that. That was good.
But you know, like,
money, cash,
about America, or not America, black people in general, and who our leaders are, if that makes any sense. Because you can say that, by the end of the day, when Beyonce and Jay-Z are there, co-signing Barack Obama and XYZ, like, in my opinion, they push the musicians and etc. to be our political leaders. That is a shame and that is whatever. But no, let's not, because Jay-Z has been acting like, before that period, Jay-Z was acting like with everybody's financial coach, as well as teaching people how to change from the. Please,
I think this is you guys' fault, right? Maybe you don't fall into this category, Vibesy, right? But this is you guys' fault for believing what Jay-Z's saying as a political activist. He's a businessman.
Well, why won't we support what a normal man?
Because
Think he was working a 9 to 5. Wait, what a normal man chose to do at that moment, like truly out of actual belief, like he actually just done what he believed was right. Like I see nothing wrong with what he done. I'm just going to say.
No, you know what the thing. There's nothing wrong. Again, right? Do you know what the thing, Vibes, right? I've said this before on the show, right? I believe you can attack the problem from different angles. My issue has always been, why is it that 95% of the time we attack the angle from trying to integrate into the system, right? Working with the oppressor, when really, if we poured our resources and did for self, I think we'll be more effective. So if Colin Kaepernick wants to do this, fine. But what I'm saying is, the damage on the movement is for those people who are ready to live and die for this particular thing, and you are the face of this particular thing. When you go back, you are discrediting the entire movement. You may say it's fine for him to go back, but you surely should be able to understand why people will be against this, because you're saying this particular place is hell. Yet you're saying I can go in there with a bucket of ice water and I can douse the flame.
For me, it's simple, and I probably don't necessarily feel exactly how you feel on the topic, yeah? Because we have different reasons for maybe coming to a similar conclusion, yeah? The image of Colin Kaepernick, yeah, playing football again, and no change happening for the cause that he was even going for is not an image, is not a victory for me, if that makes sense. It's maybe might be a personal one for him because he's earning money again or whatever, but that's not a W for the cause for what he started seeing him playing football again.
So maybe
if nothing's changed,
if nothing's changed, nothing's changed.
Who else put themselves in a position that Colin put himself in?
There was a couple man that kneeled at the time. There was a few people that kneeled at the time, but they singled out him because you know what it is. You know when everyone's
it's the hair. No, what I'm saying is it's iconic.
Yeah. Because
if you see him playing football again and that's the images going around, do you feel like you've won something?
No, but what I was gonna say, but don't you think it's a bit unfair though to? Sorry, answer your question.
I didn't hear the question.
If you saw,
smile obviously just distracts me. So
no, but if you heard he got a job again, he's earning again, he's playing in the NFL, and you see images of Kaepernick playing football again, does that install anything in you? Do you feel like there's a victory there?
If he's playing football again?
Yeah.
So y'all haven't asked me my opinion through the stages in which you guys have gone to
Right? This where we got.
So I can't jump here because it's now a different place. I would have wanted to basically ask a few questions in between that time. So forget them on me at this point in time.
But can I say that? Don't you think it's a bit
answer
harsh?
your questions to get up to speed then.
No.
It's a bit harsh
go on.
and unfair though to say that him returning he's not coming back with a victory, because he is one man fighting a whole our system.
No, but I get it though.
And no, but do you know what it is? Like, if it was a thing where I'll be honest with you, when all of this happened, I heard people talk about Colin. I haven't heard that man's name in years until my goat put a picture up of the letter. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So when you say that people like he's going back and hasn't done what I guess he left for, how many people have supported him in his cause? And this is why the man just wants to do what he's doing. For me, I feel like the Jay-Z thing, his platform, Colin's platform, was how he could do what he did.
Yeah.
For me, it's like if a rapper then tweets about BLM and calls out the music industry for this, that. And then they're like, oh, do you know what? I'm leaving this label and whatever else. So they can't make music anymore. Unfortunately for him though, it's not a thing where he can, like, a way a rapper can start an independent label and do whatever. He can't play football on Spotify or just on weekends or whatever it is. This is a passion. And again, I am of the mindset and of the belief, he did not sign up to be an activist. So you expect an activist thing from somebody who just spoke out about something that he can relate to. That's too much to put on a man.
I'm not gonna lie.
One man.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he just needs to do the Michael Jordan thing and just go play baseball or something. Do you know what I mean? Because at this point, as Marks has said, you've been gone for so long and nothing has changed since you've been gone. So what is the point of you now?
But you know what?
Back?
In baseball, there's going to be racism though, isn't there?
But Michael Jordan went over there and played. Do you know what I mean?
But you know what's mad though? I honestly feel like even if he changed sports, he will still get the same cooking Because people are going to be like, it's still the sports industry, it's still owned by whoever's owned by, and there's still racial injustice there. The guy cannot win until he's MLK with speeches. That's what people want from him.
MLK,
But he didn't sign up for that. And I think it's unfair because at the end of the day, yeah, like him playing football, that's something that gives him, it's one of his reasons to live. Like, it's what he's been training for all his life. It's his life goal. So to ask somebody to just stop that because you spoke about something that is facts, I think that's so harsh, man. I think that's deep.
It stopped him dead.
Exactly. But I'm gonna go now anyway.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Vibesy.
you
But
for
I
your
prefer
call,
the
yeah.
idea of seeing him as a coach. That's what I wanted to say. I prefer the idea of seeing him as a coach personally.
You what, sorry?
But
You like the idea?
I prefer the idea of seeing him as a coach personally.
Okay, cool.
I think that's what he wants. He's not even trying to be front and center. He just wants to
Because
be a
like
coach.
in that way, he can actually be training the kids and like be
Yeah.
non-racist towards literally. Like like just to be example, you know, like the different positions stuff, and very much so like they'll say that I'm probably getting completely wrong. A quarterback is like meant to be in inverted commas a smart position. So even if you're like a black boy and you can run fast, they'll kind of like make comments and say you're a bit too dumb to be in that position, but you have to do a different position that just gets more physical. I don't think you guys understand. Like literally, he was not exaggerating. Like if you actually like really look into like not only the sport itself, but also how they train the kids from a very young age and the school system in America, then you'll see that he barely was exaggerating. He was just using metaphorical language, and you can't fault him for speaking the truth. But anyway, I go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vibesy.
All right.
You're welcome.
Bye. The quote from Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Whoever's calling, you can keep calling in. Oh, they have. Crap. This is not how it works.
That's now it works.
We forget that Collins, this is Jay-Z. Right?
Yeah.
We forget that Collins' whole thing was to bring attention to social injustice. In that case, this is a success. Hold up.
Better have a good water.
Yes. 1 second, caller. In that case, this is a success. This is the next phase. There are two parts of protesting. You go outside and you protest. And then the company or the individual says, I hear you. What do we do next? For me, it's like action. An actionable item. What are we going to do with it? Everyone heard. We hear what you're saying and everybody knows. I agree with what you're saying. And in Kaepernick's underlying message. So what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying. Help millions and millions of people, or we get stuck on Colin not having a job. That was his words.
We get stuck on Colin.
Not having a job.
Interesting.
So what I take from that is he was saying the conversation has started and now I am doing something that's part of the next phase to actually enact action.
We'll bring about that change, yeah. So he's got a win.
But I hate that is for me. It could also be PR.
Yeah, of course.
As
All of this could
you
be
said
PR, man.
earlier on, the NFL made a smart move by getting him
Yes.
involved.
Good morning, caller.
Oh man.
That was a killie.
I put it down.
Yeah.
Because we kept them waiting.
Yeah. Apologize.
Talk to the people.
But yeah.
It's rough.
Just a little.
It's rough.
Just a little bit. I don't know, man. I think sometimes we've got to give people grace, man. Like, heavy is difficult because sometimes black people will be quick to call you a sellout for this, that, and the
Yeah,
other.
black people
But
get
then
one
you
nerve,
start
man.
not doing GoFundMe and doing direct debit to my direct debits, bruv. So what do you mean?
This is what I was saying about the Deion Sanders thing.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders, everyone called Deion Sanders a sellout. Everyone understands Colin Kaepernick now. I don't understand.
So you don't think he's a sellout?
Who, Deion Sanders?
No, Kaepernick.
Can't win,
No,
man.
I don't like to put that label on people. That's the thing. But my thing is, I'll come back to that.
But you define as a
Good
sellout.
morning, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Who are you speaking to, please?
Christy.
The Queen of BOE.
It's Christy. Yeah.
Okay, girl.
For me, I think I just want to go back. I want to tackle the Jay-Z point separately, but I want to go back to Colin.
Okay.
When this all started, I think people are forgetting that, because Vibesy said, "Oh, he just took a knee and he didn't think." No, he definitely thought it was premeditated, because he went to ask the veterans, how would it best serve for me to do this protest without being disrespectful? Because remember, the narrative was in respect to the flag and the veterans that that was the narrative that NFL was running with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he said he consulted with veterans and asked what would be respectful, what would be a respectful way for me to protest, and they said, yeah, taking the knee. So that hence why he took the knee. So I think people are forgetting that story. So it was definitely premeditated. Now, putting that aside, this letter is the time he's attempted to get into the NFL.
Hey,
Attempted
they're coming
on
for you,
several
man.
occasions.
The
No,
people that
Christine.
they don't send
Signal.
her a message.
Well,
Hello.
Chrissy,
Your
your
signal's
reception's
breaking
not
up,
good,
babe.
you know.
I'm not. Hello.
It's
Hello?
giving MTN.
Sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
You're talking on a potato.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
To be honest, yeah, the fact that while Christy sorts that her network out.
Hey, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Sorry, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, this is not the letter that Jacob. This whole letter. This is not the first time he's attempted to come back. So come back to. So me, I does appear to be begging because this is not the first time.
Also, he's been trying to get back, yeah.
He's come. Yes, but this is not the first. Like, there's been several occasions where he's insisted and said, I'm still playing. I'm practicing. Give me a chance.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think they tried to give him a chance. I think they did like a closed session with him, but like NFL didn't want no one to know that. They gave him a closed session so they can appear to be like, yeah, they're pushing him. But already, deal has already been made by the of the NFL and the coaches of the teams. They already came back together. Under no circumstances is he coming back. They did that to get some type of appeasement, but they already come together and said, no, he's not coming back. So him trying, to me, I kind of feel like, yes, it is in somewhat begging. And again, I'm not faulting him. I think he took a real good. I think the stand was it was needed. It was 100% needed, and the conversation needed to be had. However, trying to come multiple times when they have not given you a chance. If you're coming back multiple times and they haven't given you a chance, I don't know what more you expect. I don't understand why you think this letter from J. Cole is going to do anything different. I don't get, like, him coming back. How does that, as Mark said, how does that even be a win? Because he's coming back to be a player, no?
Yeah.
So people are saying that he wants to come back to be a coach.
To play.
Yeah, but it was 2 points. So he was saying he wants to be a coach for the practice team, but also present himself as a player, a contingency player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As a backup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So okay, as a coach, the NFL has a history of not hiring even coaches. How many black coaches are in the NFL right now? They don't even give them time.
I don't know, man. It's unfair, but this is just cross the bear, isn't it?
Wait, is it really?
Is it?
So these are my questions, right? Obviously, he doesn't meet Emmanuel's mark as a proper activist,
Yeah.
right?
Don't mean the.
He doesn't meet that threshold, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, Emmanuel, you need to bear that in mind. He's not you. Right?
You know the thing. In fact, let me let you finish. Go.
Yeah, please. He's not you. And I believe he rode the wave when it was profitable, beneficial.
Bro, that's what you're saying.
I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. I am playing devil's advocate here.
All
right?
right.
Do you understand? And in my head, if he was Baden right now, if he was still getting those endorsements and getting those deals, then, my friend, you can go anywhere to be a coach, right? You can even start low, because does he even have the credentials to be a coach?
I don't know what the credentials are. I
Yeah,
suppose
no one knows right now.
I don't know how it works if you have to do
So
your
this is
badges.
me
But he's an ex-player,
spitballing.
so I'm guessing he can coach.
This is just me spitballing, right? So, obviously, it's died down a bit, this whole activism stuff. Even the Black Lives Matter movement in America has been...
God.
Yeah. No, I don't know, but I mean, it now has a particular stigma because of what the documentary that this girl Candice Owens dropped, right, regarding their founders and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
Teeth and money and whatnot. So maybe he just wants to resume life, right? Because he wasn't that activist that Emmanuel believed that he was. Do you understand? I know you want him to be that person. You want him to say, "I will go to jail for this," but maybe he isn't that guy. Do you understand? And I know you're saying, well, that's your cross to bear now. You came out and you said what you said. You stick by it, and you suffer for it. But he's like, no, I don't want to. I've changed my mind. Do you understand?
And when you say that, though, Brent, how does that sound to those who care about activism?
No, for me, I know people like this.
Okay.
I wouldn't feel away. It's not going to stem or quell my activism.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because
But
there are certain limits that you would go that I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Because it's foolish to basically run into a field where there are guns and whatnot, screaming,
Rambo.
This is what sometimes you go on, like, you say that you are. I feel that's foolish. What good can you do in the long run if it is that you decide to do that particular thing? Do you understand? And I think there was a time when I've even been on the other side of this particular point and make it. And you were saying, I'll be the general or something like that. But you can't project that level of commitment and sacrifice on him if he wants to change his mind and say, I have a different opinion now. Do you understand? I know you're vexed. I know you're vexed.
No, but you can't. You can do what you want, but you can't. Who stands in the fire and then starts changing? Like,
Hey, talk to Emmanuel. Go on. This is new in Emmanuel now.
right.
You said who stands in the fire? Who goes to jail and sacrifices 20 years of their life for a particular cause? You're asking Emmanuel that question. Go on. Answer
is that the question?
That's the question. This question is asking.
I mean, Muhammad Ali, the Black Panther Party, activist. You know what I'm saying?
Nelson Mandela.
27 years.
He's got examples.
Oh, wait.
Not only that.
Different eras, my friend. Different circumstances, my friend. Please.
My name too, you know, said that those are examples.
It was a different time.
Give proper pushback.
It was a different time. There was no internet. You know what I'm saying? There's no social media. So it was harder.
There's some. Obviously, you're saying that he's not this activist that we're making him out to be, or whatever. Yeah, but like Christy was saying, it was premeditated. He went to the veterans. He went to the This wasn't something he done on a whim. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's human nature to stand in the fire and then complain and say, oh yeah, it's hot. All right, cool. That's natural. We get that. But again, once other people prepared themselves to go into that fire, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? And you can't say he's not the same as them because of the actions that he took before him kneeling, innit?
Yeah.
This means what he was doing was intentional. You know what I'm trying to say? He knew the ramifications. He knew everything. You know what I'm trying to say? So to him now to be standing saying, oh, this fire is too hot for me, it doesn't look good. It's not good.
Precisely what I'm
I'm
saying.
not disputing that it doesn't look good, because as you can see, it doesn't look good for him, who's coming behind him, using him as a patsy for... Do you understand? My friend, take up the baton and continue. He's done
Enough,
away.
you're saying. He's...
And as Jay-Z said, he started the conversation. Now, what next?
Yeah, I heard that.
It's as though he wants him to remain in the wilderness because of this particular iconic principle he set.
But in this day and age, he doesn't have to remain into the wilderness.
This
He
is,
could just
again,
go
you're talking to
transition to
Emmanuel.
a different field.
Yeah, okay.
But
Plus-
he wants to. But it sounds like he
just
wants to
quoted.
coach though.
In
No,
the same
not
place in
culture.
which he said
No, I'm
places.
saying there's different platforms. There's social media. There's different platforms. He can still earn and have influence. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
So he doesn't need to
Sorry,
go back to the
can I-
NFL to
can I
do
But
that.
he wants to go back. Sounds like he wants to go back. So what? Like,
What do you say, Christy?
And this is sorry, can I just say that this is my point? He wants to go back. Not like what is stopping him from going the HBCU route?
I
What's
think
stopping
it's
him?
the continuation of his rollout. This could be that activism 2.0. He said, if I can find my way here and drum up some more attention.
Made him sack him again.
No, I would have fully seen through this particular strategic plan. I'll do proper change from within. If I can rally up the people, maybe he's counting on you sitting on these particular broadcast channels to say, and then cause conversation, and then cause them to wilt, and then allow him back on, and then he'll be like, all right, now like Thanos, I can rest.
I don't see it happening. Man.
That's the problem. The problem is
I just don't. I don't see them letting him in.
Yeah.
How can you say naysay that you went ahead and said no?
the problem is the problem what Brent is saying, the 2.0, that has been thwarted by Jay-Z. because the NFL feel like, okay, we've done a deal with Jay-Z, we've given them a halftime show, they will best to shut up. So that unfortunately has been thwarted by Jay-Z. And trust me, I'm not for Jay-Z. I think what that move was very nasty work to me personally. But that trying to get a role, try to continue on, is definitely not happening now. Because then NFL was like, we've set up this fund now. So what are they talking about? So they don't need to hire him back.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not overly on him like E-Man is, but this is yucky though. Him going back, even wanting to go back, and trying to go back.
You people are harsh, innit?
But he might have a really dastardly plan, and he's willing to weather the people like Emmanuel cussing him for being a sellout.
Just killing me when
He wrote him a
when you
letter.
said he has a plan. When E-Man thought Kanye had a plan.
It's so hilarious how Emmanuel back Kanye like that.
Listen.
Like that, and he's actively doing damage to the black community.
Actively. Till this
Every
day.
day, why they keep here? Another piece of damage.
That's completely different.
Till
That's
this
completely
day.
different. That's completely
Yeah,
different.
no, E-Man, you can't leave that down. I'm sorry.
No,
Never.
that's completely
That
different.
one.
Never.
I was simply saying.
You've had some iconic women in the show.
All I was simply saying, you guys know this, right? I was simply saying, let's give him a chance to explain, because there might be more meaning to the t-shirt. That's all I was basically saying. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. And
I
then
was
when he went to go
defending
and cuss you on
Kyrie. That's who I was
Nation of
defending.
Islam, he was like, no.
Say that again, sorry?
Okay.
When what?
When they went to go and cuss you on Nation of Islam, it was over with.
Yeah, that's a step too far, goddammit.
Can't have that. Oh dear, man. That's
No,
funny.
but my thing is, I just don't. Again, I don't know why can't he go the HBC route, like that route? HBCUs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Why can't he go through that route?
Why didn't they offer
I
him a
feel
job?
like he can even take.
Dude, that's one thing. Why? 'Cause you know what is here? Yeah, he stood up for black people, whatever. Why didn't the black organizations who felt like, you know what, you've been fired from here, they've cut your money, come over here with us then? Why should he have to go around begging for money? And this is, okay, we don't know if he's begging for money. I just like this narrative. It's fun to say. But Jimmy, why should he have to go around begging for jobs? Why didn't the black organizations who felt like, you know what, we like that this man who had a great position in the sports, whatever, can you help us with this programs? Can you help us with that? Now he's done what he's done for the past 7 years, however long he has been playing. Now the man just wants to do what he loves now, and now he's a sellout. But nobody was no black organizations or anything like that was offering him anything. Of course, he's gonna want to go back and work in plantation.
I mean,
No, but he wanted to go back and play. Obviously, with that, that was a coaching job. He wasn't talking about a coaching job.
No, but he would take it.
He wanted to actually play. He still wanted to play.
yeah.
This point he's added now is a new point of saying, I can be a backup coach or whatever. That's just been added now.
Yeah, but don't you think
that the only goal was to go back and play?
But don't you think
was
that's
the
because he
only
wasn't
goal.
getting nothing? So if I'm offering, okay, I'll play, okay, no play, all right then. I could at least be a coach then. Do you get what I mean? But I feel like if he had been offered that, because again, a lot of these things is PR, really and truly anyway. The whole I don't know if is it a documentary, whatever he did, post kneeling down and whatnot. All of that stuff is all marketing, it's all management, it's all pushing your career in the way it is. I question celebrities' stance on real life things, because again, they've got a whole team that's trying to make the most money from what they're doing, or get the most hype from what they're doing. But if he was offered like a coaching role or whatnot from a HBCU or anything else, he probably would have taken it, because again, he was walking in that spirit of, I'm an activist. But now the dust has settled and life is hitting him. I don't know, man. I have grace for the guy, man. I don't blame him. I feel like if you fall into a role, I can't stay there forever, man. Especially when the people I'm doing it for, no one's trying to help me. What am I going from there?
Remember last time, this is why I was criticizing, I can't remember what the discussion was, but I was basically critical about the fact that when people put their lives on the line, we don't look after their families, we don't put money together. I'm fully in agreement with what you're saying. But I just feel like if you are the face of an organization, right, a movement, and you who represents these people go back to the person that you are claiming is your oppressor, your slave master, and the conditions haven't changed, and you're asking for a job, it really nullifies a lot of the good work he's done. And the thing is, I really don't want it to look as though I don't respect Colin Kaepernick, right, for the work he's done. The man sacrificed a lot. He's done a lot in America. He's made serious conversations happen. Thank you very much. Right, but this just doesn't look good, and it really reduces the impact of activism going forward. If our leader, right, can say, you know what, guys, we tried. Let's just go back to
I didn't ask to be a leader, but again, like the conversation has now moved on from what he's done in terms of his knee stuff, right?
Yeah.
Jay-Z is doing what he's done with the NFL, blah, blah, blah. Like, sometimes, it's not the same person that starts a cause that's to finish it.
Facts.
I understand that, but the thing is, I didn't ask to be your leader. And this
you.
is the issue when we put people on pedestals and we make people the leader. Someone says one time, Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden now, we're going to them for all the black issues.
No, you're right.
Someone speaks against one injustice because I'm human and that touched me. All of a sudden now, we're inviting them on all these platforms and they're not even qualified to take on these roles.
Yeah.
For me, he's just a normal guy who was a sportsman, celebrity, whatever it was that he was doing, who just spoke about something that everyone was talking about at the time. I feel like even him, because Christy said he went to whoever to ask the best way to do that, blah, blah, blah. For me, even that speaks to the fact that he wasn't trying to be an activist. Because really, he would have just disrupted everything. But he went and said, what's the best way where it's not going to be, it's not going to, do you know what I mean? It's not going to cause
more
disrespect or wherever it is. So
to the vets.
That's how I interpret that.
Okay, cool.
This man, you people are the ones who have made him an activist. You're the ones who made him your leader. You didn't ask for that. So saying that,
They probably done it on Monday Night Football. NFL, the ratings is probably the biggest ratings in America. It's probably the most watched thing out there. Football's
Did he come out saying I'm your leader now? Moving forward. And when it comes to black issues, come and talk to me about it.
Maybe he's not qualified, as Esther said. He's not qualified to be a martyr.
No, but you know what it is though? We see this all the
qualified.
time.
All you need to qualifications to be a martyr is have a life.
No,
threatening
man.
date.
No.
That's it.
No, sometimes a martyr. I disagree. It depends. Christy, there's some people who are on the other side of this argument, and you've spent 20 minutes on one side.
Sorry.
You are amazing.
You didn't say this to Vibesy, but it's okay.
Got you there.
Bye. I have no problem with what she said.
Yeah, you should.
You're right.
You should.
No, you can stay, Christy. It's fine.
Christy, don't say. Have some pride.
Have some. You gotta have some pride now.
I think you're calling Kaepernick argument. You can't say the same.
Yeah, you can't stay.
You gotta make a point.
You stand your
I
ground.
should say. No, let me stand my ground. Friend, shush.
All right.
Anyway,
This is exactly what Colin's
my
trying to
point.
do.
I'm just saying. Let me just say this last point. The last point. I'm just saying to Esther's point, saying he didn't want to be the face. If you didn't want to be the face, I'm sorry. You propelled yourself today. You propelled yourself there. This is what happens when you take this kind of stance. History has showed you that.
But what stance did he take?
So
Speaking out against racism.
That's basic. That level is in hell.
The bars in hell, Brent. The bars in hell.
That's just
No.
basic.
So when you're a celebrity, so when you're a celebrity now, you can't speak against any injustice because now you're automatically you've taken a stance.
His iconic hair, it just took a wave. It was the right time, and he was like, "That's brandable. Let's jump on this." And then he was like, "Whoa, yes, I believe in this thing."
Buddy, but because I don't believe that this man wanted to be a leader, activist. Now we see this all the time.
I think he just said enough is enough, and I know I have influence, some form of influence, and nobody else is doing
use
it.
a bit of my influence.
Nobody else is doing it. I'm sure he talked to the rest of his colleagues, and he's like, "Look, I'm going to do this because I'm sick and tired. You guys going to back me?" Everyone's like,
No.
and he's like,
He's not the only one that lost his career though.
You know,
Who else was
He's the only one we're talking about.
He's the only one with the fruit.
No, a close friend of his lost his career because he also took the same stance. But obviously, because he became the face,
He
they
got
don't talk
singled
about
out.
him.
You got singled out. Brent is right. It's the
Yeah, but
hair,
the
man.
you ain't running back to the NFL trying
Who
to play.
knows? Do you know?
We don't know what
spitballing.
We don't know. What's his name?
And he probably ain't made as
Wait, but you don't know. Just imagine if it is that he had already gone back and said,
No, but what's his name for you to Google it and see what he's doing today?
I don't know.
Exactly.
It's Eric.
because do you know what it is? Because this man took the knee for Black Lives Matter, used us all Afro, he said, "Oh yeah, that's our king." This is y'all did this.
Someone will know his name, man. His name's like
Let me find out.
What, Colin Kaepernick's friend that also lost his job?
Well,
there was like 3 of them though, wasn't it? It weren't just 2 of them. There was like 3 of them initially.
2 or 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, there was that 3 of them.
Were the other 2 good? Okay, well there you have it then.
Couldn't tell you.
They weren't good.
Is it Reed? Eric Reed?
Yes, Eric Reed was one of them. Yes, you're right. Eric Reed was one of them.
And where is
but
he
there was
at
another
today?
guy as well.
I don't
But
know,
anyway,
man. I
let me
think
go.
this, I personally think that this is the issue in society, is that people, public figure, whatever it is, whatever, from low level all the way to the highest levels, they speak against something that they have been affected by before they even became this notable figure, and all of a sudden now make them the Lord and Savior of this particular social issue, and then when they let you down, now you're acting shocked, but they're human like you. How many people would actually make sacrifices when it is that you've got real life stuff going on? How many people would give up their passion that you literally spent your entire life training for because what you said was something that is obvious? All you said was Black Lives Matter, and now you're not allowed to pursue that for the rest of your life because you stated something that everyone should be stating anyway. I'm sorry, man. Give the guy grace and give him a job.
Someone said that Eric Reed's still playing.
I think maybe the best
Look at
thing
that.
would be.
Oh, is he?
But yeah.
Look at that.
So I'm
We can do a
saying,
topic of the day on him.
All right, man. Okay, cool.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you, Christy. I think we can definitely move on from there. Oh, just wanted to say, Rebecca said her mom's watching, man.
Oh, big up
So,
auntie.
Big up, auntie, man. Appreciate you for raising
your
a
mum
good
on?
woman like Rebecca who contributes.
She's
And she
funny.
also said, she's a fan of Esther's.
Oh, auntie, stop. Love that. I love that.
But yeah, all right, cool, man. I guess we can move on from there.
Right, let's get into our headlines.
Facts.
Valentine next week.
All right, so our next headline. Israel's Supreme Court has commenced hearings regarding petitions against a new law designed to make it more challenging to declare Prime Minister unfit for office. This law stipulates that only the Prime Minister or the Cabinet with a 2/3 majority can declare a leader unfit, and only due to physical or mental incapacity. Furthermore, the Cabinet's decision must be ratified by a 2/3 majority in the Knesset, which is Israel's parliament, right? This amendment represents a significant change to one of Israel's basic laws, akin to a constitution. The petitioners argue that this amendment was primarily passed to benefit the current incumbent Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who faces an ongoing corruption trial, making it a misuse of constituency authority. They contend that this constitutes grounds for the Supreme Court to potentially strike down the amendment. However, the Supreme Court has never invalidated a basic law or its amendment in the past. And Yitzhak Burt, who's representing the equivalent of Parliament, right, the Knesset, acknowledged, that the law benefited the Prime Minister personally, but argued that the legislature had the democratic mandate to pass it and that its flaws did not warrant it being struck down. 1 second, caller. Next headline. The self-declared Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh is set to dissolve from next year following its defeat by Azerbaijan. The president, Samvel Sharamanyan, signed a decree calling for the dissolution of state institutions in Nagorno-Karabakh, which is not internationally recognized as an independent state. The decree, effective from the 1st of January next year, 2024, marks the end of its existence following Azerbaijan's victory last week. This victory triggered a significant exodus of ethnic Armenians who had been living in the Nagorno-Karabakh region, and it signifies the conclusion of decades of conflict in the region. Additionally, it raises the possibility of the end of centuries of Armenian presence in that area. And the last headline, a Birmingham University PhD student by the name of Mohammed Al-Bared has been found guilty of using a 3D printer to create a kamikaze drone designed to carry an explosive warhead or chemical weapons for use by IS terrorists. Yeah. Al-Bared, who was a mechanical engineering graduate, was convicted of engaging in conduct in preparation of terrorist acts to benefit a proscribed terrorist organization, ISIS, right? He had been sending weekly updates to IS while constructing the drone at his home in Coventry. Following a 5-week trial at Birmingham Crown Court, Al-Bared was remanded in custody and faces the possibility of a life sentence when he's sentenced on November the 27th. Throughout the trial, he denied supporting ISIS and its objectives, claiming that he built the drone solely for his research purposes. He also asserted that his online research about ISIS was intended to argue against its aims with others at a mosque. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into some gist. Get into Word on Road.
Good morning.
Got a caller.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Yo, what's good, people?
What's going on? You right?
Yeah, best up. It's Ed.
Yes, Ed.
Are you
What are
right,
you
Ed?
saying? Speak to us.
I'm good. Yeah. How you lot doing? Your best, yeah?
Yeah, all good, man.
Yeah, nah. Just obviously I've seen we've moved on, so I'll try and make it as quick as I can, and so I don't take up too much time on that. But just a quick summary, I guess, of my thoughts on what has been said about Cap. My thing of my issue with what certain, what has been said is, I'm sure we've all addressed it. The whole thing of being two things at once. The whole idea of you in particular, man, sort of feeling like because he is an activist, because he's spoken up against the system, that he's now no longer allowed, or if he is, he's now a sellout for going back to the system. It's a thing of, we can't speak on that. We can't speak on that man's intentions, that man's heart, in terms of what his goals are beyond just playing again. Like, at the end of the day, it might be the start is just, hey, me just getting to play again. The future might be, hey, me being able to get involved, behind the scenes in the coaching world and, help people out there, whatever. We don't know. All you can go off is, his intention so far. And his intention so far shows that he clearly wants to remain an activist. You know what I mean? Like, I think just to brought the fact that man had tried out before to get back in the NFL. I think one of the things that happened was, like, the owners, whoever, or the NFL was like, yo, you need to sign this waiver that says you ain't going to talk no more, you ain't going to chat on us, you ain't going to chat on college football, you ain't going to chat on police, nothing. Man came out and was like, tried to make me not be able to speak, so I ain't gonna practice for them if they're gonna do that. And it's a thing of, that he's clearly, his intent is not to walk away from his message. That even though it was an accident that he became a quote unquote activist, he's not clearly shied away from the fact he's still one. He just wants to be able to do the job that was taken from him. I think.
Do you feel like
the worst case scenario? Go on.
Do you feel like it's damaging to the image though, and to the overall movement? If, for example, a slave, right? And I'm only using the allegory of slave master and plantation because of what he did in the Netflix documentary, yeah. But do you feel like it makes sense, right? Or is it even good for the movement, or damaging if, for example, a particular slave talks badly about the entire plantation, talks ill about the slave master and everything, right? Says, I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm done with this particular place, right? Leaves, right? Tries to get people on his side. And then afterwards, after some time, because it's difficult out there, right? Granted, this is us just kind of assuming it's difficult because the narrative is he's comfortable. He's well, to do. He's a millionaire still. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get twisted. He's a millionaire, right?
Then his wife makes bread as well.
His what?
I think his wife makes bread as well.
Beautiful, right? So then he comes back and says, you know what, slave master, I want to work. I want to work on the plantation again. Because we know that the slave plantation is still there, still active, still enslaving people. It's not changed. All the things he had qualms about, are still there, present. He's going back there as the face of a particular movement, right? And saying, please, I can offer my services.
No, I heard the logic of what you're saying. At the same time, I said, don't go, it's a bit of an extreme, but I go, Rosa Parks went back on buses, it's not a thing of, it's not because I was against or because I had quarrel with this, we can't eventually find a common ground and move forward. You know what I mean? And like
Rosa
I said, it's a thing of,
I was about to say that. when Rosa Parks... Yeah, go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say obviously there has to be some element of knowing there's changes being made. I wouldn't assume he's just going in blind. Like he must know. I'm assuming, though, I can't say for sure.
Because nothing's changed.
Not going in blind.
Nothing's changed.
No, but there have been some changes. I'm not saying huge. I'm not saying been huge changes, especially in terms of police reform, which is what he originally was protesting against in the first place. So in that thing, it's not. But in terms of the NFL, they've made some small changes. I'm not going to say they've done big things.
Okay.
But you know what I mean. But it's a thing of it's a thing of hey, like it's a baby step thing. You know what I mean. At the end of the day, it's not. It's you can't expect. I know it's been about 4 or 5 years now, but it's still in the grand scheme of things. The NFL has been an institution for like 8 years or whatever. It's like you ain't gonna change an 8-year institution of corruption and racism, blah blah, in like a 5 year span. Especially with just that one man, like as the face behind it. Like he's done what he can, and he's doing what he can on a ground level, and he'll continue to do it. It looks like, or at least it looks like he's going to continue to try and do that. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, I don't truly look at it from the sense of the movement. I do look at it from a personal level of him as a man. You know, the victory will be for him, because I know, I mean, when you said, the victory for the movement, but I'm like, the victory for him to be able to take that, to get that, what that was stolen from him, is to me, that's bigger than, you know, for me, you know, what that original thing started.
I hear you. If you're saying it's just if you're saying it's a victory for him, then beautiful. But that's not what activism is. Activism is not about the individual. It's about the entire plan. You know what I'm saying? You can look through history. You can look at present day activists. You know what I'm saying? Who are relaying and living out the mandate of their particular movement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying again, I don't want to put that thing on him. I really don't, because like Esther's saying, it's not like the black community is giving this man a job. It's not like we're providing for his kids this, that, and the third, even though he's a millionaire and he doesn't need the help. But anyway, that's the side thing, right?
100.
But the reality is, it just does not bode well for his organization that he represents and any other organization, right, in the future. If the leader says, you know what, I've had enough of this, let me go back to the very oppressor who made my life hell. But I hear you.
Yeah, but the leader also said he wanted to play football. He's never, even when he protested at the beginning for police, he made it clear, yo, I ain't starting nothing with the NFL. It's just, yo, I'm just protesting the police. When the NFL colluded against him, he weren't trying to be like, fuck the NFL, I don't want nothing to do with them. He was like, no, I just want them to give me a fair shot. Like, he's not, you know, he didn't come out and go, hey, I'm, you know, from the second he jumped into this protest thing, that he was like, F football, I only care about the activism thing. It's like, oh, like, it's the thing of here. He wants to be both of those things. Like, he clearly wanted to be both of those things from day one, and wants to continue to be both of those things now. Like, it's not, you know, and like I said, because it's been stolen from him, that's why I think it's more of a thing of him wanting it. It'd be different if he got old and he just couldn't play no when he was washed, and he was still trying to do this thing. But it's like, yeah, like, it's a thing of, it was stolen from him in his prime. So of course he still feels like there's that big thing that's missing, that thing that he worked 20 years for to get to, and working in, like, that was taken from him. Like, he, you know, there's still that lingering thing there of him wanting to prove to himself, you know, that he's still good enough, prove to himself that, you know, he wasn't, that they made the mistake of trying to blackball him and then whatnot, like, you know. And I sit there and go, I appreciate it. I know that you're standing up purely on the side of the movement, and you're truly just looking from that side, isn't it? Whereas I'm looking at it from the side of, yes, the movement, but I'm also looking at it as the man himself. Like, and then he's still a man. Yes, he's the face of a movement, but he's still a human being. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So you got to look at it from that perspective too.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate you obviously having empathy for him. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely necessary. So yeah, man.
I also feel as though he felt as though he was unfairly dismissed.
Yeah, that's true.
You took my job away from me.
100.
That too, yeah. Exactly.
I deserve this job.
Yeah.
This is my job, and you took it away from me. I want it back.
Yeah.
That's the height of activism. And I'm reading here that he's been involved in other forms of activism. He's donated millions of dollars to charities that support social justice causes, and he has launched his own foundation, the Know Your Rights Camp.
Dope.
Hold up. Sorry, I think somebody's still on the line. Kaepernick's activism has been recognized by many organizations, and he has received numerous awards for his work. In 2017, he was named Sports Illustrated's Muhammad Ali Legacy Award winner, and in 2018, he was awarded Amnesty International's Ambassador of Conscience Award. So I do believe that he's vexed that he was wrongfully dismissed, and he wants to correct that. I don't think that takes away his activism.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's contributed a hell of a lot, man. Big him up, man.
I'm out, people.
Thank you. Appreciate the call, yeah.
Bless.
Much love.
What's finishing me is that the streets are saying
Oops.
Rosa Parks was just tired.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
She didn't want me to fall into activism either. That's what we treated her, because no one knows, man. We just run with it, made her the face of sitting at the front of the bus this time.
That was the first type of viral, innit?
Yeah.
Them things there
Rosa,
caused protests and whatnot, riots.
Yeah, I suppose it would be, yeah.
When's this now? Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hello?
Morning, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Lovely. Who are you speaking to, please?
You're speaking to the same old vibes. Yes, very irritating.
Vibes, yeah.
Basically, I'm very quick now. Basically, Brent actually just did it because I did feel like a negative narrative was being painted about Colin Kaepernick, in terms of not taking into account the work that he'd done. And obviously, like I didn't. Everyone really talk about it. Like, why does it have to be so loud? Like everyone else is sitting here. I think for sure, like honestly, another topic of the day should be what we actually define as activism, and also who are our leaders as the black community, and like who do we say leads us and to represent us. So I think like it's just comfortably and like not actually have to do it and then like speak on somebody else's stuff. But I think what was really important, I think Brent didn't get to mention because he wasn't aware, but basically like, people in the chat were saying that like there was a series that he produced called Killing County. As well, like there was a family, like he works with like many families, get compensation when like the police like killed their family members and stuff. And so I feel like he and much like Christy said, it wasn't a random, but what I meant was like it was like, in the moment. It was like heat of the moment, like the whole BLM thing. And even if anything, I afraid that more like he went to better. Like I think basically he tried to go about it the most respectful way, but he really meant that shit. Like I think important. And a lot of people do things that don't mean anything. A lot of people don't even stand for what they even believe in. So I think we should give props where possible because I don't think that like not everyone is born into children to die for the cause. That's not what we really want to be like making our kids do. We want them to like speak up, to have changes, to actually get to enjoy the world that they're creating, no? So I think, like I said, in the ideal world, people like Colin like would still get their job. It makes sense that he was blackballed. I'm not surprised at all. But like, what's he meant to do? Start a whole new NFL with money from who? Jay-Z? Nope, not him.
Have you heard of the Big Three?
Be part of the actual NFL. What did you say, sorry?
Have you heard of the Big Three?
The Big Three? I don't think so.
Okay, that's your homework vibes.
Wait. Are you talking about Ice Cube's basketball stuff?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with NFL?
Again,
he should start that. You know how much? I'm not sure if it is you've been following.
Yeah, I know they're giving him hell. I know.
Yeah.
I know, but again, do some of your Googles and that, and then yeah. But anyway,
you two do some of your Googles, honey. What about don't worry.
Don't let me talk to you like that, Vibesy man. How come
Vibesy gave me homework earlier? I'm giving her the same.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason.
What's the problem?
What's the homework she gave you?
I can't remember.
Exactly.
You don't remember? You're not serious. Listen, the homework is to go and look into American football, how they raise, what they do to the children, the education that they get.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, I didn't get to submit it to you guys. I've done out here. This guy, guys, pretended to actually be a football coach and qualified. He basically in the UK recently happened.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Stacey sent that to me.
Thank you.
It's on
know
Netflix.
How many boys now are actually crying and sad because their life has actually been wasted and they should actually be elsewhere. And so many children are using this as their meal ticket. Colin did actually make a change, and many black boys are actually now quarterbacks when they wouldn't have been before. Colin now made Rashford and them man have the confidence to do what they did in this country, and then afterwards, then Rashford now went on to see kids because they were because that's the whole point. They were making him activists, so he said, well, why not? And that's when, do you know what I mean? So he actually done stuff. Like, let's not, because like I said, it encourages people not to do stuff. And like what let's say about the quota for change or whatever, like literally, like
All right, Vibesy. I mean, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
but
the call.
you do your homework and I'll do mine, yeah?
All right, beautiful.
And you guys
Thanks
discuss
for your
this
call,
off another platforms. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. Let's get to the road. All right. In sad news, let me fix my face. Sad news. The Sir Michael Gambon sadly passed away. Man, he was the headmaster in Harry Potter. Did you guys watch that?
Yep. Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed.
I watched it recently, you know.
Did you?
Like this year.
You're really in rebellion stage, aren't you?
I thought to myself, like, what's all the hype about Harry Potter?
Did you watch all of them?
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. It's like
So
seven.
when we tell you to watch a show, tell me that we need to.
No, but I did this over a long period of time.
Is this
You know
year?
what I'm saying? Yeah.
For as long as I've known you this year, you ain't had time to watch Harry Potter.
What are you saying thank you for?
This is blocking your face.
No.
I've seen Harry Potter's, but I've never watched one from start, from credit to credit.
Okay.
How many are there?
7. And I think one of them's, 7. And one of them's got part 2.
As in parts?
7
They're
films.
films?
Yeah, 7
I
films.
thought it was a series.
So I think
And
it's
I've
like
probably
8.
seen bits of all 7,
I ain't seen none of them.
maybe.
The
Harry
most I
Potter.
would have seen is a meme.
Harry
Did
Potter's
it have
not-
any memes?
It's not me, man. It's not me. I'd rather Lord of the Rings.
100%.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
I
That scared
didn't
me.
even watch that,
Lord of the
but I
Rings
just
is-
rather it. So I mean, kind of Harry
There was
Potter.
that ugly looking man in there. You're like,
Oh, Smeagol.
I probably,
Yeah.
I remember that. And I just thought, yeah, this is not for me. This is not my calling. I'm
What,
more-
Harry
Potter's
Potter?
not bad.
No, Lord of the Rings.
All these things, it's just different vehicles for storytelling, isn't it? Like, it's
Fantasy.
not like about, obviously, like, there's a fantasy aspect
about
or
nothing.
the witches aspect, but there's different messages and different stuff in the movies, isn't it?
What's
It's
the
just story,
message in-
it's
what's
just
the message in-
storytelling.
What's the message in Harry Potter?
Told you, I ain't watched one from credit to
Oh,
credit,
what's
so
the
I
message in
couldn't
Harry
tell you.
Potter?
Yeah, you should know.
Can't remember, you know.
What's the message in Harry Potter?
What?
You don't watch
I
it?
don't watch it.
Oh, so you what? Or not Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, none of them.
No.
Okay.
I like my mind filled with wholesome things.
Real stuff.
Love stories.
Have you seen what's it called? The
So
Lion,
not
the
Star
Witch, and the
Trek
Wardrobe.
No. Lion and who?
Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I remember that's
Anything
old school,
with
no?
witchcraft.
No, it's good. This is
If
very
it's
by
witch-
Christian.
That's old school, no?
Anything that's got
Yeah.
witchcraft or witchcraft adjacent, I wasn't allowed.
Oh,
I wasn't allowed
you
to watch
should watch
Teletubbies.
You
think
weren't
you like
allowed
it.
to
I
watch
think you like it.
Teletubbies.
No, because they spoke broken English.
That is ridiculous.
I'm more of a Tweenies babe. But yeah, my RIP to him. His family put a statement out and said, "We are devastated to announce the loss of Sir Michael Gambon." Why am I saying his name like that? Michael died peacefully in hospital with his wife Anne and son Fergus at his bedside following a bout of pneumonia. Pneumonia is very serious, you know. I feel like I only...
Pneumonia.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
when
serious,
I was growing up, I thought pneumonia was like an extreme cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People actually die from it.
100%.
Because one of my friend's dad had it, and I was like, oh, like, this is
How
a
do you
different
how do you
level.
get that?
I don't even know, you know. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
Concerning,
not work for
man.
you. But so that happened, and then also you're one, man. You're one. So I put in the Twitter community the other day. If you're not part of our Twitter community, join it. It's called The New Black, isn't it? Yeah, Black is spelled with an X. So basically, I put in there the video of Britney Spears, my girl, dancing with the knives in it.
I see that.
It's such a vibe. I was so impressed. I was very impressed by that.
No, the dogs look concerned still. Like I just remember seeing the dogs in the background and they're just looking at each other like, "What is mommy doing?
What in the what mommy doing?
What is mommy doing?"
But obviously, use that one in it because the police went to do a wellness check on that.
No way.
Yeah, following concerns and calls and whatnot to the police and whatever else, they actually went to her home to see how to see she's alright and whatever. They left her because she's fine and they're fake knives. But she did put a statement out. She said, "I know I spooked everyone with the last post, but these are fake knives that my team rented from Hand Prop Shop in LA. These are not real knives. No one needs to worry or call the police. I'm trying to imitate one of my favorite performers, Shakira."
Really?
I've been telling you, like, yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay, sorry, go.
Because I hadn't read it. I'm trying to imitate one of my favorite performers, Shakira, a performance I was inspired by. Cheers to us bad girls who aren't afraid to push boundaries and take risks. I'm sorry. What performance? Didn't Shakira just dance with her hips?
You heard her.
She wanted to take a risk. She should have used real knives.
What's your problem?
Just saying. Just sticking to the script.
Shakira's been getting a lot of... Shakira's just trying to mind her business and live her best tax. I pay my taxes life. Because even when... Was it the VMAs or whatever award was the other day and Tiffany Haddish kept photobombing her?
What, Shakira?
Yeah, and people were talking about how annoying Tiffany was and blah, blah. Tiffany's had a tough time, man. But it was a whole thing. But I think she was just joking. And I feel like Shakira was probably... I don't know if she was annoying the joke or not. I don't know. But now, Britney Spears telling she can't imitate your dances. I'd be so annoyed by that. Because why am I in it? And I would like to know... I would ask Britney, show me the video where I dance like this. Show me. She's want to be me so bad. Show me the video. Cheeky, man. Someone else who's very cheeky, though. Oh, no. Okay, this is alleged. So basically, on Twitter yesterday, or the other day, someone asked a question. You know, people just do the questions and da-da-da-da. And someone said, what's an interaction you had with a celebrity that was effed up and evil, right? And then some girl started to talk about Simone Biles. And Simone Biles is the gymnast. And she said, Simone came into a makeup store I worked at with her now husband. She was so effing rude. My co-worker's daughter did gymnastics, so she politely asked for a picture with her during checkout. And Simone said, absolutely not. Your daughter is 4. She doesn't even know me.
Oh, wow.
But that's true, though.
Serious, though.
It's true.
That's harsh, though.
That's rude, though.
No,
See,
no.
this is the thing,
You
though.
see,
yeah.
I have an issue with that. Whenever people are honest people do that, oh, it's rude. No, it's not. Don't use your child.
Yeah, but you weren't
Your
there.
small
you
defenseless child.
No, I hear you, but you weren't there and you didn't hear how the tone was. You're
don't
just
think.
reading what was said as
Of
opposed to
course.
how it was said.
Yeah, but that's fair. But even then, facts are facts. Your daughter don't know me. The kid is 4. She can't even spell Simone. She can't even spell gymnastics. She can't spell gym. And you're telling me your daughter knows me and will be a bit, just say you're a fan of me and you like the fact that your daughter does gymnastics too and you're gonna inspire your daughter with my story. Don't be out here lying about your daughter was a photo of me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But obviously,
Again,
but
we weren't
also
there.
there is that thing where people think that celebrities can't say no.
Yeah, exactly.
They can. So there's that too. The story goes on though, it gets worse.
Oh, man.
That was nothing.
Oh,
But
God.
what's about to come. So she said she complained to our manager she hated the feeling of people staring at her while shopping like she's not Simone Biles. The store offered curbside. She declined. She was so rude to the staff. We offered her help as we do with everyone. And she said, do I look dumb? Her husband was a sweetheart though. He looked at us and mouthed, I'm sorry. But she said for months after, every time I'd see news about her and how they call her sweet, I just recall how mean she was for no reason. When she left, we were all like, what the hell was that? What the hell just happened?
She had a bad day, man.
But her husband came out to her defense. Because this was going viral and all sorts. So her husband came out and said, spreading lies on the internet is crazy. It's okay for her to deny a picture. People don't understand sometimes you just want to shop in peace. If she stops and takes one picture, people would just keep following her and won't leave us alone. And another thing, I've never heard her talk to someone like that, especially to someone who asked her for a picture. Like, why would you try to make her look like that? She's the sweetest person in the world. I just couldn't let this go, especially if I was there like you said I was.
Someone's learned.
I don't think it's a husband. Because I feel like she should have just said that was Simone. But when you bring the husband and say the husband is mouthing to everybody, I'm sorry, that's wild. That's a wild thing to say. I don't think it's the husband. I think the husband is standing by his wife as
Yeah,
he
but
should.
the husband's going to do that regardless. So the man's meant to stand by his wife.
You say that. Kiki Farmer's man didn't. Yep. Take that one in. He didn't. Darius Jackson, this is how you act when your partner's getting cooked online. So,
Some man want to stay out of it.
clearly. Or someone want to add fuel to it.
No, but then obviously they might say something behind closed doors. as
Yeah, that's
opposed
the
to-
thing. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like with celebrities, to be fair, again, it's this whole pedestal thing. You think that they're superhuman. Because really and truly, though, if someone does take one picture, it lets everyone else know who wasn't brave enough know that, oh, this is fine.
do it, yeah.
So now, all I wanted was do one lip gloss because Rihanna's invited me to dinner. Now, we've got a queue outside the shop. I'm actually disrupting the peace. Now the security guards from the lower mall have to come upstairs because now it's a whole thing. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like with celebrities as well, like they shouldn't have to not be able to go to places. Like Cardi said that when she went to Breakfast Club last week or the other day, and they were like, I think one of them asked them what she's like. No, what it's like knowing that she can't leave the house. She said, one thing about me, I'm leaving the house. She said, I drop my kids to school. And she said, I am in Target and Walmart all the time. People just don't know it's me. She said she literally covers up because she was like, I can't stay in the house all the time. Like she was like, I can't live like that. And it's true, because imagine not being able to go anywhere and you just have to be at home or just hope one of your friends are having a party. And you wonder why they're on cocaine. It would be too.
No, but I get that you're saying, oh, if I give this one person a picture, then loads of other people might come and ask for a picture. But there's no mention of anyone else asking for a picture.
But that's the thing though. It takes one brave person to ask, and like clockwork, everyone else asks. It happens all the time. Because when people know that it's okay, because obviously sometimes some people see celebrities and they're like, maybe we can't really approach. But if someone approaches and they see how nice you are to that person, they're like, oh, okay, can I? And that's how people start to get in your personal space and da-da-da. When you're having conversations with people, how are you? It's just long. I really came here for one quick thing. Obviously, there's no excuse to be rude to anybody. I don't rate anybody, celebrity or not, who is rude to service workers. Like that's such a big red flag for me. I don't think it's right. Unless they're deserving of it. And they were rude to you first, then that's what life's about. Give and take. Other than that, yeah. But speaking of giving and taking, there's a clip that's gone viral of Kim Kardashian on the phone to Kourtney Kardashian. This is post Kourtney's marriage. And I believe Kourtney's actually pregnant at the time. It sparked a whole lot of conversation online about narcissism and what narcissists look like and all that kind of narcissist talk. Basically, in the conversation, Kourtney is talking to Kim and saying to her how she came to her wedding and she was bad vibes. She said she came to my wedding, from the moment you got there, you were just complaining about this and that and whatever it was. essentially it was giving jealousy vibes and this, and she was like, you know what, like I don't have the time or care for any of this drama or anything like that. Kourtney has spoken in the past where that clip went viral, so when she slapped Kim and Kim's makeup was on the wall. How she wants to basically leave the show. I feel like she hasn't been happy on the show for a long, long time, but I interpret that as she's not the one who's like very hungry for fame like that. She minds her business, and I think the first few seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, obviously yes, Kim did her sex tape and whatnot, but really and truly, Kourtney's storyline with Scott is what kept viewers growing and whatever else. And she was really the scapegoat for the longest time. Even when she broke up with Scott, the family are still got this guy there in her face all the time, doing whatever. Like I feel like there wasn't proper. I just don't feel like they ever cared really for Kourtney like that. That's my personal opinion. It's not the time to come and fight me about it.
How much seasons has that show got?
Too many, because they left E and they said they were done. They leaving reality TV show. That's what they said. Next thing we see, I'm seeing them on my Disney Plus ads. They're now on Hulu. Now they're basically saying that what they were doing with E is different to what they're doing now. They're filming non-stop. It was a whole headline when they were like, they're bowing out. It was like, oh my gosh, the first family, da 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 da. Only for them to put a trailer out the month after that. So they've got way too many. They've got more seasons than I would like to recount. I remember them when I was in year 9.
Year 9?
Year 9. I was 13. That's 15 years ago.
I didn't know they had them.
And they're still at it, doing foolishness.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever gonna.
Yeah.
Ever gonna stop.
Then no, they can't. But basically, one of the things that's got people's attention is that, so when Kourtney was telling Kim about, you came to my wedding, you're bad vibes, you were this, you're never really happy for me, like you're always horrible to me, blah, blah. Kim is just like, I feel like you just hate me, blah, 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 whatever. Then Kourtney was like, do you know what? Like, I don't even care. She was like, do you know what? She's like, even this conversation, if you don't want to take out of the recording of the episode, take out of the episode. Like, I don't care. And then Kim was like, are you a happy person? She was like, I was. Up until 5 minutes ago when I started speaking to you, I am happy, kind of thing. Then Kim went on to then tell Kourtney that everyone thinks she has a problem. And basically there's a group chat with Kourtney's friends who came to Kim and the family. And the group chat is called Not Kourtney. And she's like, there in the group chat, they talk about Kourtney and her issues. And then where I think was a low blow, which for me, I just thought, yeah, Kim is a wicked person. She said that even Kourtney's kids have come to her to talk about Kourtney. And I just felt like that was such a horrible thing to say to someone. And the woman's heavily pregnant as well. She was pregnant at this time of this conversation. But also my thing is, if I have an issue with you, I hate when I have an issue with somebody and they're trying to bring everybody else into the conversation. I'm having a conversation with you as to how you showed up at my wedding, as to how you... Cause I think she basically, at her wedding, she ended up making like a whole ad thing where she was... promoting a brand she wore or something like that. She basically tried to make the attention off Travis and Kourtney and put it on herself for like a campaign she had with Prada, one of those high-end brands or whatever it was. And so she had an issue with that. And she was saying how she just felt her energy was off and blah, blah. So if I'm talking about that and how that you've hurt me and whatnot, and you're coming to tell me now that there's a group chat where you and my friends, you're my family, my sisters, you and my friends are talking about me. And then not only that, you're coming to tell me that my kids come to talk to you about me as well. I just felt like why would you say that to me at this time? And then anyway, cut a long story short, Kourtney called her a witch. She's like, you're a narcissistic witch. Like everything has to be about you. You have to be the center of attention all the time. And you're just a wicked and horrible person. And do you know what? The way she said it, yeah, it was deep, man. She meant that. She meant it and she felt it. But I feel like with Kourtney, I feel like there's stuff that's happened. Personally, I feel like there's stuff that's happened outside of their show that either she's said it on camera and they've cut it out, but her disdain for not being part of her family is way too much. Like she literally quit on Twitter one time. She was like, nah, like I'm done. Like it's affecting my mental health. It's affecting me, da-da-da-da. And I feel like, obviously with the brand, it's always been about the girls and the girls doing this. And she was like, you don't want to work all the time. I just want to raise my kids. She was like, I don't want my kids to be raised by nannies. That was a conversation she had with Kim one time, where Kim was basically calling her lazy. And she was like, I'm not lazy. I just want to be there for my children. I just want to raise my children. I don't want to be leaving my kids with nannies all the time. I want to actually be an active parent in their lives. So I feel like the way they work and the things that they desire is very different. But it's a lot of family dynamic with all of that stuff. And then people were talking about how there was a time where Beyonce and Solange's mum, Tina Knowles, talked about how she put the girls in therapy from very, very young, kind of like counseling, just so they were aware, because obviously Beyonce was doing, what's it called? Destiny's Child and whatever. She was blowing up at the rate she was blowing up. But she also wanted Solange to know that you're not irrelevant, like you're not the shadow sister kind of thing. I said it was important for her to kind of feel that where they grew up together, respecting what each other do and supporting each other in the way they do. And they do. They really, really do. So she said it was needed for them to have a healthy and good relationship.
So they put them in therapy.
Like counselling.
At what age?
I don't know. I don't ask the details. But I think that's healthy, man. Because look at this. Kris Jenner didn't do that. And look at her kids at the age of 40 calling each other witches and hoes on the internet.
She did blow up because she was sucking hood, so to be fair. That's what, like, she's not really...
That's true.
She's
not the poster mum.
She's not really living out her calling unless she's got hood in her
She's
mind.
the
Anyway,
pimp
I'm actually...
She is a pimp mum. She is. Because she is. Allegedly.
I haven't heard that said for Willie in a long time.
It always just... I never cease to amaze me how well Kim's done for herself, and essentially she was just getting slammed out by Ray J. Like, her influence
But you
is
know what's
crazy.
mad about that,
That's
though?
when I knew Gal was finished. One day I walked into the yard and all the females in my life that I actually love and care about are all sitting down in one room watching Kardashians. I'm saying, we're done. I mean, you don't know who this Mum, you know what?
Not mum. Leave it out of it.
No, you know what? I was like, that's when I knew Gal was finished. I just left him, man. That's why I don't get involved in Gal business, honestly, because
That's so funny,
these
man.
are different.
But you know how mad it is that actually, though, even with that year, it happened naturally, and then they actually retaped it. So what people see as that was them acting, and actually intentionally sold it. She could blow up. And that's the thing, Kourtney ain't trying to do that, man. Kourtney's the only one that's never gone black. Let's talk about that. That's the
Not
realest
yet.
thing. No, she's married to a white man now. She's married to the guy from the
Yeah,
band.
I said not yet.
No, but she's never ever dated a black guy. The rest of them have just treated black men that they're just fashionable and disposable. The black men too, Mumu's, they went there as well and treat themselves as disposable too. She's been the realest one from day. She's not chasing fame. She's not chasing the clout. She stayed white. She stayed with her white men that she likes.
It's all right if it's all white.
Phil Dunphy said that. It's crazy, man. Modern Family. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's sad, but I hope Kourtney can find peace and just live her best married life with her lovely baby now. You know, it's I don't know, man. Family dynamics are family dynamics, innit? But it is what it is. But that's all for me. That's all the tea I have for you this week. Let's get into People's Journal. Who was it? Was it Valerie, wasn't it? Yeah, Valerie, you don't sound like Noala at all. Sorry, man.
All right, people. So welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So the first thing I wanted to mention, is there's a bunch of charities and organizations out there that are basically getting onto the Prime Minister and basically saying, look, we need you to provide more support for millions of households that are expected to struggle with energy costs this winter. Energy bills, for those who don't know, are set to be about 13% more expensive on average than they were last winter. You know, last winter was kind of high. Yeah. So, and last year it was basically the highest in living memory. So what they're saying is, 13% more expensive, and there isn't really anything in place to kind of help those who are struggling. Obviously, there was the £300 payment for those who are eligible for the DWP, right? But for everybody else, what they're trying to say is, look, we need more help, basically. In the open letter, which was a coalition between the NEA, the Age UK, Citizens Advice, and Money Saving Expert, they called on the government to act. So basically in that letter, they said, with winter fast approaching, short-term targeted support is needed to protect the most vulnerable households in and on the edge of fuel poverty. These are people whose bills have become so unaffordable that they are having to make the desperate choice nobody should have to make between heating and eating, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what Sunak does. Speaking about Sunak, apparently, according to the Institute for Fiscal Studies, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson have basically overseen the largest set of tax rises since the Second World War. This according to their economic analysis, right? What they're saying is the tax burden has risen to around 37% of national income, which equates to about £3,500 extra per household. You know what I'm saying? Even obviously the increase is not shared evenly. Everyone adds different amounts, contributes to tax in different amounts as well. But yeah, it's the largest that any parliament has seen, and since the records began in the 1950s, well, in 1950, right? So yeah, man, it's looking crazy. And when the Chancellor Jeremy Hunt was asked, not about that specifically, but asked about cutting taxes, he was like, "Look, I'll be real with you, man. Like, it's virtually impossible. I can't do it. I really wish." It was true that I could do something about it, but unfortunately it just isn't the case. And he also said, if you look at what we're having to pay for our long-term debt, it's higher now than it was at the spring budget. I wish it wasn't. It makes life extremely difficult. It makes tax cuts virtually impossible, and it means that I'll have another set of frankly very difficult decisions. So again, he's being real about it, and I don't think, to be fair to the Chancellor, that he's kind of made us feel like anything will be that drastic, like indifference, you know what I'm saying, to our everyday life. So at least he's keeping it real, innit? We'll see if this materializes and really changes anything, you know what I mean, especially when it comes to election time. And the last thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people are excited in California because fast food workers will be receiving a minimum wage increase.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So the minimum wage is now going to be set from next year at $20.
Oh my gosh, do you have to tip them too?
Yeah, probably.
So everyone gets tipped.
No, but the fast food, I don't think you do, you know. Only when I don't think you do that at McDonald's, do they?
I don't know.
I think at normal...
New York.
Do you have to tip people in fast food, Popeyes and them?
The culture to just tip everywhere. And
in McDonald's as well?
Everything you do. I don't. Was it in fast food? I can't remember. I can't remember, but I feel
Brett,
like
you were there.
I feel like the tipping culture is just tip
It's everywhere.
everywhere, like
Even in fast
anywhere,
food?
anywhere.
A drive-through. How am I going to tip you in a drive-through?
Anywhere somebody you're interacting with another human who's doing something,
yeah.
You gotta tip them.
anywhere they expect tips.
Supermarket.
Yeah, so then McDonald's wouldn't qualify then. Because remember, you just kind of go on the machine, you get your order, you pay your money,
drive-through.
and you
I
bounce,
think they
innit?
also add it to the end before you check out. You have to
automatically
add
on the
tip.
receipt.
I only know about this because when I went the other day, to be honest, I didn't go into any fast food restaurants. I went into like takeaways and whatnot. They will put it at the end of it, and then you can't check out without actually saying how much of a tip you want to basically.
Is
put.
it?
Yeah.
Do the numbers start from like $5 or something? Like, do they let you
lowest
enter your...
percent-
The lowest where
They tend to do percentages, isn't it?
they have two.
Okay.
You could have a number and then you could put a percentage. That's where I went. I don't know.
The
if
lowest
it's
where
all
you
over
went,
the gaff.
what was it?
I
Remember?
went to a cafe. I went to a Senegalese restaurant. I went to a botanery. I don't
Okay.
know if that's what it's called. You know when they sell the herbs and stuff.
I definitely don't know what that is.
Can't remember what it's called, but
Went to the
I went to a
Juju
few places, and I even went to a 7-Eleven, like not a 7-Eleven, but a corner store.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, and they all had a tip thing. Maybe.
Beyonce. Oh, okay.
Someone was telling me.
Oh, a lie. The corner store didn't say that they were going to be... I couldn't choose the tip, but it was added onto it.
That's so wild, you know?
Yeah.
So someone was telling me but when you don't tip, especially as a British guy, they look at you strangely like that.
100%,
They look at you like, what's
They tweet all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, happened to me.
I've always seen tweets.
That's how they get paid.
I feel that's so wild because
That's what they tell you, man.
you know what's mad? They literally ride hard and cuss people for not tipping, you know? You need to have this smoke for the powers that be. Why am I in it? Am I rich myself? I'm not coming here to buy something that's $5 and now I have to spend $20.
Ridiculous.
tipping culture.
Is everybody
Yeah,
right?
It's ridiculous.
Do you guys ever feel a way though? You know here when they give you a machine and it says like tip or no tip and it's got that red X.
No,
Oh, always no, yeah.
no,
Yeah, no.
no. Unless the actual service is, and I'm like, oh, you know, I like this person. They.
But I always give
them.
them
Yeah.
money though, because I don't like. Because I'm sorry, your
Yeah,
colleague was
personally,
reaching
you
on the way
love
in.
it.
You're not sharing it.
Yeah,
This
I hear
is
that.
for you, and then
I
you
hear
dare
that,
put
I
in
hear
that pot.
Yeah.
I heard that.
That's so.
There has to
interesting.
be somewhat exceptional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have
Gotta
to do
be
something,
that
yeah.
quality.
Is that nice, or if they're like young as well? If they're young and they're
Yeah.
lovely, like I can tell that you're doing this just like whilst you're in school. I will tip them because they're so cute, and I like people making a good living. So I'm like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, man.
Remove
That's-
service charge regular, man. Excuse me, take that off.
That's so embarrassing.
What, the service charge?
I hate when people do that.
No,
Serious?
take that off.
Well, you hate when
You
people
do that
take it
now.
off.
I told him if I'm not happy, if for any little
Yeah,
reason,
if
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
happy, I thought you
it
meant
could
normal.
be, it could be the smallest
Inconvenience.
It could be the smallest inconvenience. If there's anything that that didn't
What's
go
the
right.
pettiest reason why you've taken service charge off?
Just didn't like the way it engaged.
I've just taken it off because I didn't want to pay.
I find that so stressful.
Why?
I hate when people do that.
No, I say
Bro,
take it
it's
off.
in the bill.
I didn't like your I didn't enjoy your service. I'm
Yeah,
not
but you know
paying
what
for
it is
this.
though? No, if his service has been horrible, I understand that. I would take it off. Like I'm take it off. But if everything is in calm, we've had no problems, whatever,
Yeah.
and someone's like, I just want to pay service charge.
No, if I've
Big
been,
man, it's in the bill.
if I've enjoyed my meal, the service was good, everything was fine. I don't even look at what the service charge is.
Because I just see the total.
I just pay it. Yeah. But if I'm disgruntled in any way, shape, or form, I will tell them take the service charge off.
There are some people that are like, even if the service is good or whatever, they just feel like they should have the option to tip and it shouldn't be posting them. I don't go out with the people. I don't, because when we start doing accountants on the table, I find that so it stresses me out.
I see
I don't
why
like
you
that.
say it.
They split the bill and everyone just keep moving.
But you know, it's sometimes it really just enables bad service though, because they bank on people just paying because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and why?
If the service is bad, there's nothing you can say to me. I'm not paying it.
But I see it as it has
I'll
to
give
be
you a
good.
prawns back.
It
I'm not
has to
paying
be
it.
good. It can't be normal. If it's normal, then I don't mind walking up to the front, getting my plate.
No, but normal is fine though. Because what do you want them to do?
That's their job though. I'm not paying your salary. I came here to eat. Like, your salary is the responsibility of the business owner.
It's so interesting because if I'm treated like properly and they smile,
Say
and
hello, welcome you.
if I feel nice
Yeah.
when I'm finished, and then I'm like, I leave
That's
something.
fine.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We do that
Yeah,
every day.
that's
Sometimes
fine, that's fine.
they're splitting the tips now
Yeah.
as well. The other day, some woman missed out on tips because we're saying we want to give you a tip. She's saying I can't take it. It's for everybody. We're saying
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, they say that. And I'm like, I want to give it to
no,
you.
Nobody ain't touching
Yeah,
this money.
I've done
If
that
this ain't
before.
going to you, you're not getting it. So you take it and put it in your pocket. Or she said no, we can't do that. I said, all right, tip's gone.
When I worked at Boris with my pocket boy, not sharing that.
You know how I feel,
Fuck
right?
everybody else. I want this is for you.
Right, this was I earned this.
Yeah.
My smiles got me this tip. Nope.
Keep it. Whenever I see these people in these positions, like service positions,
Yeah.
in a place of servitude, right? I know that they have egos outside of this particular environment.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
have to comply
They have to come. Yeah,
in
yeah,
order
yeah.
to pay.
Yeah.
So I like when they see me, they respect me, and then I see them and I say thank you
Yeah,
as much as I
yeah,
can.
same.
So even when I'm leaving, I still want to be like,
Have a
okay,
nice day.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that you've placed yourself in this particular service mode
Yeah.
to make me feel comfortable,
Yeah.
to make me feel cool,
Yeah.
and here you go. That's how I see it.
And I think of it like that as well. So even if they're not going above me, you're not asking how my kids are and stuff like that, they're still nice. Like, this has not been a horrible experience. So I wouldn't mind. I don't mind paying.
Yeah.
But if you're horrible, I give grace for that as well to an extent. Because I know how it can be difficult. I know that you could have had someone like just come and ruin your day. I know that you have stuff going on in your personal life. Like, I understand, I can give grace for that. But if some people get way too, I'm like, whoa, buddy.
Their chest is too high. If they will accept like 5p's and that, I'll be tipping all the time.
Yeah, but no, you throw 5 P's at
Say that
cars.
just is too high. 5B.
Yeah, I'll go brazy because when I'm in other countries, I don't mind. I tip these pesos, I'll be throwing these pesos, about. If these men was on taking 20 pences and that, I'll be tipping killing man. What, 520s, man?
How
Hold
many
a
20
pan.
P's? They're gonna serve 5
Hold a
people.
pan, rude boy.
But that's right.
520s.
That's all right. A couple pounds with the receipt. That's
He didn't say a
alright.
couple. He said give them 20 P's,
He
5
went up to
P's,
a pound.
and £1.
He went up to a
No,
pound.
if I give them 520s,
You ain't give them 5 20s.
I might give them 520p's.
Why do you give them a pound then? Why give them? What are
Spread
you
it
doing
out,
this
make it
for?
look more. It's more weighty. You know what I'm trying to say? They feel like if they got 520s or £1, they feel like they earn more with the 520s. That's what it is. They got small bills and then places there.
That's so funny.
Pesos
You
and
have
things.
£1 notes.
Rupees and things. You could just
It adds up, man.
Representing.
you could just go brazy.
That's just so silly, man. That's too funny. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it for the People's Channel.
Let's do our last headlines today. Right. This is lovely.
All right, people. Let me, if fact, let me just read this again.
Y'all give him too
I
much
remember this
grace,
next
you know,
week.
because when Izzy's there fighting for Kaepernick, he wasn't saying this.
Okay,
Oh.
no, that's why.
Say
Say,
what?
listen to me. I got time, damn it.
I was
That's
trying to
why we're
go.
laughing though,
I was trying
because
to go.
you did this.
No, I was trying
Oh,
to,
you
man.
king.
It's the coolers.
It's all you king.
All right, so the mother of a black girl who was not given a medal at an Irish gymnastics
Oh,
event
yes.
ceremony
See that?
says the apology that she had received, pardon me, is useless.
Good.
A video emerged recently showing the alleged racist treatment of a young black gymnast who was ignored, man. You know, when they were handing out medals at an event in Dublin last year, the mother said watching the incident unfold at the time was horrendous. Gymnastics Ireland apologised on Monday for the upset that it had caused. In a statement, the governing body said it was deeply sorry that it knew it needed to do more to ensure nothing like this happened again, and it condemned any form of racism. But the mother of the girl said that the sports body only publicly apologised after 18 months because the world wanted them to, right? She also said the apology is almost useless. There was no empathy shown. I feel like it's not true. It's been 18 months and it seems like they were pressured to give me an apology. I cried for so long and the millions of people cried with me before I could get this.
I'm baffed. So she was meant to get a medal and just didn't get one.
Yeah, just
I saw the video,
Skipped
but it's
over.
wild. It's like it's rude, man. Like,
yeah,
come
it is,
on, man.
Very sad, man.
Ireland of all people, you know, like they didn't have struggles back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like the English didn't look at them like
Exactly.
pieces of shit. You know,
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Exactly.
Come on, man.
This
What does
is
it
it.
say? No blacks, no Irish, no dogs.
Yeah,
You still remember that, man? Come on, man.
yeah, 100%.
I'm confused. So what? Did she eventually get a medal? Or she just got passed?
They might have just sent in a post. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Imagine.
I think their statement says something about that they've offered to like get the woman to apologise to her in person and blah blah, and the parents declined. Good. Don't come with my face chatting nonsense when you didn't have to do all of that
Fuck
nonsense.
that apology, man.
Exactly.
Keep that, man.
Keep the damn medal too.
Yeah, 100%. Next headline. Again, very sad news, but this is just an update of the horrific news that we spoke about yesterday. The family of Eliane Andem has said that our hearts are broken after she was stabbed. Trigger warning, sorry guys. After she was stabbed to death near a bus stop on her way to school. The 15-year-old was stabbed in the neck with a foot-long knife near Whitgift Shopping Centre in Croydon, South London, during the morning rush hour. This is according to a witness. A 17-year-old boy who knew the victim was arrested just over an hour after the attack, which took place at around 8:30 on Wednesday. Eliane's family said in a statement that our hearts are broken by the senseless death of our daughter. Eliane was the light of our lives. She was bright and funny, with many friends who all adored her. She was only 15 and had a whole life ahead of her with hopes and dreams for the future. All those dreams have now been shattered. Our lives have fallen apart along with that of our wider family. We ask the media to please respect our privacy as we try to grieve the short life of our beautiful child. This is just reminding me of something, yeah? Give me one moment, guys. And basically, I was sent this, big up Jackie, and this is basically a new WhatsApp group has basically been made, right? And I believe it's being run by the men in the community. And basically what it says here is, after another travesty of an incident happened in Croydon, and the men of Croydon and the surrounding areas have said enough is enough and have decided to step forward and do community school/college patrols within the Croydon area. We need men to give us their time and become a dedicated member of the patrol squad, even if it's 1 day out of 5. Something is better than nothing, as at the end of us doing nothing, we have travesty upon tragedy waiting to happen. There's more information here. But yeah, it just speaks to, I think, what we were saying yesterday. We have to kind of just do stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to come back. We can't just say, oh, that's not a good solution. No, we got to do something, because obviously the current system doesn't protect
work.
us. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? The men in the community, we just got to do certain things, man, because
That's what
her
I'm
life
saying,
is
man.
thrown in the bin for nothing.
It's horrible, man.
Nothing.
It's so disgusting.
I know poor people that got kids, and I'm not just concerned for them.
This is it.
Growing up.
This is it. Because you can't rely on the system. You know.
That's really commendable of them, though. Big up them.
Yeah, man.
Very commendable.
Yeah, 100%, man. Hopefully, if you do listen to the show, you're in the Croydon area, try and find out about it, please. And if you can, lend at least 1 day, even if it's 1 day every fortnight or something. You know what I'm saying? Please try and help.
They'll start like everywhere sooner or later, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it won't just be Croydon; it'll be all over London at some point.
Yeah. The last headline, more sad news as well. Trigger warning: a 14-year-old student in Jerez de la Frontera in Spain has been arrested for injuring 3 teachers and 2 fellow students with a knife at a high school. The incident occurred in the morning, prompting a police response. The attacker entered the classroom and began assaulting classmates and teachers with 2 kitchen knives. Injuries of varying severity were reported, with 1 teacher in serious condition due to an eye injury.
Where was this?
In Spain. Yeah. According to reports, the attacker stabbed one of his classmates from behind while shouting out threats. The rest of the class fled, and the biology teacher attempted to intervene but was also injured. The attacker then moved on to another classroom where he was eventually subdued by a teacher and several students. Classmates of the assailant have suggested that he may have had a mental disorder, potentially Asperger's syndrome, and that he may have been a victim of bullying. They described him as often being alone and mentioned instances of mistreatment by some of his peers. The incident highlights the need for mental health support and anti-bullying measures in schools to prevent such tragic events. Also, kind of like what you were talking about yesterday, Esther. Men need help, man, the mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy,
Don't just
man.
blame. Anyway,
Well,
time to pay the bills.
Thank you very much. Let's get into reaction.
Misogyny.
All right, welcome to the reaction, people. Not much to react to. Have we got a weekend of boxing to look forward to?
Do you know?
Tell me about it, because I'm in all weekend. No, serious, I am. So I'm actually going to watch these ones. It's like Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah.
Yes,
Well, early hours of the morning though. But yeah, still. It's gonna be on the zone as well. It's gonna be free. If you got a subscription.
Oh, what time you talk about? 4s and 5s and that?
Yeah, probably about 3, 4.
You got a subscription?
I cancelled it, you know. I had it for the longest while, but I cancelled it.
You got one?
I said this is ridiculous.
The zone.
I've got every channel in the world. I do.
It doesn't help, but okay, cool. Doesn't matter.
You asked me if I got it. I told you yes.
I know, cool. I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Why did that upset you so much?
I'm not upset. I was about to ask something else, but it doesn't matter. It's gone.
Fair enough. I can help you be like me if you want.
You can help me what?
I can help you be just like me.
How you gonna do that?
Talk off the camera.
Say nothing. say nothing, cuz!
It's not hard. It's 2023. I don't understand how people struggle to watch everything and anything. Live TV, there's films, everything and anything. Is that your thing? I don't understand how people struggle
Is
to
the
do
quality
stuff.
I know where you're going with that,
proper
but
pristine quality all the time?
No.
That would not be true, but I get all the live events. I've got all the pay-per-views.
Okay.
I've got everything, all the boxing, it's all the stuff I was streaming, all the football, all the sports. I've got channels that I'm never going to use in my life. I've got Nigerian TV.
That's the
First of all of this is hypothetical and all for entertainment.
purely entertainment,
Please.
guys.
surely.
Make sure you laugh.
We do this every time.
Make sure you laugh.
You guys type anyone in the chat.
I'm saying I pay
The
my
tax man.
I pay my taxes, so I'm trying to hear it.
But yeah, man, we've got a huge fight, man. Undisputed versus Undisputed. The biggest fighter in the world, Canelo, is fighting Charlo. Obviously, everyone was kind of expecting Charlo, the older brother, by like a minute, right? They're twins, right? To fight Canelo, but apparently he's got like mental health issues and certain things. He's still the champion at middleweight at 160. But this is Charlo, the younger twin, who's cleaned up the entire division at 154, going up 2 weight classes to 168
That's a lot, though, man.
to fight Canelo.
2 weight classes.
Two weight classes.
Already sounds tough. Already sounds.
Yeah,
That's weight. Remember, the more weight you got, man, the slower you are.
100%.
So
And it's not like Canelo did, where it's like he you know what I'm saying, like 154, got the belts.
yeah, went up and up.
What,
yeah,
160
yeah.
over
Gradually,
years.
Yeah.
He's doing this over like, and last time he fought was like 18 months ago.
That's a big jump, you know. 18 months.
18 months ago. So he's got ring rust potentially, and he's going to fight potentially the best boxer in the world.
So Kevin says this might be the fight of the year?
Yeah, I understand why he's saying that though,
But
because
the one that we just watched before was not the fight of the year.
I think he means in terms of the action you get. Because Crawford, it was a one-sided beating, innit?
No, that's after the fact, but it wasn't billed as that.
What was it? It was marketed as
No,
the fight.
yeah, but I don't think Kevin's talking about how it's built. I think he's talking about the actual fight itself will be potentially like a fight of the year candidate.
Confused? What's the difference?
So like with the Crawford and Spence fight, we were talking about this being one of the biggest fights like for decades.
Yes.
Because of
Yes.
the type of boxers.
Yes.
This, I don't think Kevin's necessarily saying that. I think he's saying the actual action we will get in the fight potentially will be like a fight of the year situation. That's what I think he's saying.
Help me understand, please. I might be stupid.
What do you mean?
With the Crawford and the Spence one,
We've watched it. We've got hindsight.
I know, but before then, wasn't it billed as this is going to be one of the biggest fights of the year?
Yeah, but it wasn't fight of the year, was it?
Forget about the hindsight.
Yeah.
What was this? 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Let's carry on.
Yeah, so continue this thing. But yeah, we'll come back to what Brent's saying. But yeah, people are basically making it seem as though it's a one-sided fight. Potentially on paper, it should be one-sided, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? It should be one-sided. But because like Charlo is not, he's new to that weight class, man. And Canelo, again, he's thrived in like an 18-month period. He went up to 160 and beat every champion. He beat Smith. He made, what's his name? What's that guy?
I don't know if it was your picture.
I don't know Virgin's coming in.
No, as in, when I say Virgin, it's loosely.
He beat Smith, got his belt. What's that other guy? Billy Joe Saunders. He beat him. Remember Billy Joe Saunders was laughing
He
at Dubois?
dismantled Billy Joe Saunders.
You remember when he was gunning Dubois for quitting?
Yeah.
Canelo made him quit.
Yeah.
And then after that, he knocks out Caleb Plant as
Alright.
well.
So did you answer my question?
No.
So if we didn't have any fights, and both of these particular fights were put next to each other, what would it be? Which would be the biggest?
I would have probably said.
Are you a boxing fan?
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
probably said Crawford and Spence.
This is what I'm saying.
Touch his bag.
If what, Brent? Say it again.
Oh, look, he has boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, hold up.
Because
One. So that means he
He
be
uses
fighting.
them.
For context.
um,
Yeah. So I got really excited about this because of how you talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm asking because I want to know if I should watch this.
Okay. Well, I think you should watch it.
yeah.
100%.
Uh,
Because Charlo's not a pushover, you know.
It has to be better than the Spence and
It'll be more
Crawford.
competitive than that
It
one.
has to be.
Based 100%. Based
Because
on
of the
what,
hindsight.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the hindsight, that fight should have been
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
50-50
This
fight.
is what I was trying to understand.
Okay,
Alright,
cool, yeah.
Thank you very much.
on paper. Canelo should beat Charlo. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, a lot of people are saying, remember, Jamel and Jamal, right? They're twins, isn't it? They're the same size. If Jamal, right, even though he's more, he fights at 160, but if they're twins, effectively they're the same build, exactly the same. So if he can fight Canelo, surely the Jamel at 154 can fight Canelo,
Yeah,
and the
but
size
it's
won't be
it's
that
the
much of an
jump,
issue.
Though. That's what's concerning.
you're right.
Me. It's not like one weight class,
Yeah,
two.
two weight classes.
And he's never fought at that level before. So
Yeah.
it's like,
You
you
really use those. You can punch him up.
punch you up.
This one.
Why
It's
does-
nonchalant, cool.
I'm still waiting for him to
Accept the challenge.
No, to do some MMA thing. I'm waiting for him to. Do you know what I mean?
He knows I'm on fire.
Oh, here we go. Here we
They look really used, you know.
Here we go. I'm waiting for him to.
That don't
Yeah, listen. When you're ready,
that don't
I've-
impress me.
I've
I've
said
been in
to-
the gym. I've seen him on the club.
I'm not trying to impress you, bro. I'm not trying to impress you. I said to you, when you're ready, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, we could do it. That's
All
fine.
right, yeah. Whatever you. Listen, he tapped me on my chest one time, yeah, when my wrist was broke. I said, brother, so now you got chat for me when my wrist is broke. I said,
You're
all right,
such
cool,
a
no
liar.
problem. No.
Man said when your wrist was broke. That's not your whole life.
What? You get
Your
so
wrist
I'm
weren't
saying,
broke.
Anyway,
Your
I
wrist
can,
weren't broke.
Okay, I can show you pictures of my wrist being broke, but what are you talking about? My wrist is so he tapped me on my chest. I said, brother, you sure you wouldn't do this? Because my wrist will come back at some point in time, you know.
When he
Like,
said tap you as in he hit
no,
you.
it's just that we're just messing around. We're the guys
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
messing
yeah.
around, and I
Yeah.
said, oh, like we can do X, Y, Z. I think we were both drunk, and we said we could do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then like I told him, yeah, my wrist is not here. So when I get back, X, Y, Z. Then he tapped me on my chest and said, so you want to kick me when I'm done?
Yeah.
Now my wrist is back. He ain't said nothing. Since.
Okay. Was it really
Because
broke?
I've told you.
Yeah, it was really broke. It was really broke.
I've told you. You're way more than me, but we're similar height, similar size. We can go.
I don't weigh more than you.
You do weigh more than me.
I don't. How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
I ain't weighed myself in ages, but I'm probably about 30.5 stone now.
There's no way you're 30.5 stone.
I've lost a lot of weight.
You're more than that.
I'm not.
You have to be more than
You
that.
have to be more than that.
I'm not.
Were you 6'3"?
How was that in year 9?
Man said year 9, you know.
What did you say you weigh?
About 30.5
You're not
stone, I
30.5
think.
stone.
I dropped it. I dropped
At
it
one
all.
point, I swear you were like 14.5, 15.
I was like, yeah, but I dropped it all. That's when I was fat.
What is that?
I'd have to go
kilos?
and weigh myself to actually check properly now. But I think I'm about maybe 14 then, maybe just under 14 or something.
Let me just bring the
95,
scale.
Maybe.
Go and get the scales. Go and get the scales.
Yeah, bring the scales.
Is men and
please,
women's
yeah.
weight different?
Is when what?
Men and women's weight different.
Nah, what do you mean? You
And
don't
I think-
do kilos, isn't it? You don't either do kilos or stones.
And what I said to you was, I'd probably lean more.
To kill each other.
I said what I was saying to you was, I would lean more to you, lean more towards you with like the boxing, but obviously you got strength for that, so it might lead you to a full sense of security. But MMA, you ain't got no moves for
alright,
me.
If you say so, bro. When they're ready, when we do the
I'll
MMA,
stay ready. That's why I ain't gotta get ready.
Listen, all right, cool. When we do the MMA thing,
Period.
then we'll see it. Bro.
All right.
She said, period. Sprinkle. Yeah, no. When we do the MMA thing, man, that's it, man. Do you know what I mean? We'll leave it in there.
I'm ready, man. I stay with it, man.
All right, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I'm not 14.5, man. I lost it. I dropped it all down. Wait, Brent, get these skills.
Yeah,
Let me see
get
where
these
I am.
skills. Let's see where you are, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because all I'm hearing right now is excuses.
Is his
And then
phone
we'll
on
see
there?
the disparity.
Say
Is
again?
his phone on the table?
Whose phone?
Brent.
There's a phone there.
Oh no, man. I was gonna call him to bring back a yogurt.
What, you hungry? Sorry.
I think he's back.
I said I've lost all this weight now. I hear you.
We've got a scale.
Run the scales, big man. Come.
Step on
I
it.
ain't even got my
Step on
creps
the
on.
things. You don't need the creps on. You're trying to put more weight on. He's trying to put more weight on.
No, just step on it.
Step on it. Put your head up. You have to look straight. Straight ahead.
Jesus Christ.
83?
Might be right.
83. You
83.3.
can't. You can't step in the ring.
I'm scared to step on then.
You can't step in the ring. You can't step in the ring with me.
I told you, man. I've lost it all. I dropped it.
What?
Just step on it.
Reset.
No, just step on it. Dramatic. You look straight ahead.
See, 91.
91.2.
You can't step in the ring with me. Bro.
Told you. What's 83 kg in stone? Let me check now.
It's about 13 and a bit.
I told you so. I know myself, man.
It's about 13 and a bit.
Wild.
Yeah, 13.
Come on, man. You're arguing with me, man. After
Yeah, forget.
I know myself, Killy, man.
Forget,
I apologise.
forget. You need to put on weight to step in the room with me still. You need to do the
mean-
weight class thing.
And that's why I said boxing is probably would be thing, but MMA is different though. MMA, don't mind. I'm calm with that.
Right, yeah, everyone, as I said, when you're ready, we can do the MMA.
No, man, you're a big, strong man, man. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm scared of nothing, bro. Only thing I'm scared
So what's
of is
91
God.
in stone anyway?
I should be 14 and a half.
14 and... Yeah.
14 and a half.
Yeah, but look, brother, we're practically almost the same height. There's no way you fought the same weight as you.
I thought you were still relatively in and around that.
I lost it, man.
So I mean, you can get it back though.
Yeah, we'll come back, man. Okay.
See, look, I told him to come gym with me today. Yeah,
No, I'm not starting gym on
look,
Friday. man.
look. So what did he say to me?
I got my son all weekend. It don't make sense. He said, start
Not
how you
the
need to go
weekend.
on. I'm
It's not
saying
the-
exactly.
it's not
So
the
why am I
weekend.
going
It's
to
not the weekend. It's not the
exactly?
weekend. He
So I'm going to
said-
start now and
he
take a
said-
break and not go back to the gym till when?
Yeah, but there's no reason for you to not go.
I got my youth. I can't go gym over the
I'm
weekend.
talking about today. I'm not talking about the weekend.
It doesn't make sense. I'd rather start on a Monday. Like you said, start how you mean to go on. That's just the way I attack things. I'd rather start on a Monday and move forward. Do
God
that.
knows I'll
I'm
try,
start
man.
now and not go gym for 3-4 days. What's the point?
When I hit the pearly gates, God knows I tried, man. I tried.
Come with me on Monday, man.
We can go.
So who's winning?
He's been in what?
What's...
Canelo, yeah,
Yeah.
Canelo. Canelo
yeah.
should
All
win.
right, cool.
Canelo should definitely win, man.
Someone said 17 stone. Stop it.
Styles definitely make fights, right?
100%.
And the thing is, yeah, if Charlo was to go in there and maybe try and box for 12 rounds, then it's like, cool. He's not going to do that. And plus, I don't think he could box for 12 rounds, avoid Canelo for 12 rounds. And you know what I'm saying? He's not stopping Canelo because nobody stopped Canelo. You know what I'm saying?
No, what's who stopped him? Well, actually, that was ages ago. Though.
Who?
Mayweather.
No, he won, but he didn't stop him. He won the fight, but he didn't like TKO him or nothing like that.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he lost.
Yeah, he lost the fight.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
What do you mean you like that?
Because saying that he never stopped him, so that he's undefeated. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. What are you talking
Oh, is
about?
it? Okay. No, he's lost like 2 fights now. He lost to Bivol as well, like a couple of years ago. But yeah, it should be definitely an entertaining fight, man. Because what's funny is when Canelo beat Plant, I think Charlo was watching the fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was talking to his brother like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I could beat Canelo.
Yeah.
I could beat Canelo."
Yeah.
Like, it got picked up on the mic system. So yeah, to see this fight, yeah, man.
I expect it to be a good fight, but again, that going up to weight classes.
2 weight classes, crazy. That's
Yeah,
definitely
like,
crazy.
and you remember you gotta make weight. Then you gotta try to carry that speed with you.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna go in at 168 though. I think it'll probably be a bit less. Because like you're saying, to be an extra like 14 pounds, right?
That's a lot in the boxing.
Yeah. And the thing is, Canelo will obviously have to make weight 168. But he won't be in the ring at 168. He's gonna be heavier than that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a bit mad. But again, I think it's gonna be definitely an entertaining fight, man. But if I had to put money on it, I'll definitely put it on Canelo.
Yeah, but obviously the odds would be with yeah.
I don't see the point in, like, if I'm Canelo, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking this fight. Like,
Right.
what's there to gain? Like, I mean, unless you really feel like it's
Shut
gonna
man
be,
up, innit?
yeah. Unless you think it's gonna be like you're just gonna be able to like walk through him.
No, I don't think Canelo's gonna think he's gonna walk through him, but obviously he's gonna be confident. He ain't lost in.
But what does he gain? Like on his record, like people will always say, yeah, but he should have won. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But Charlo now, if he wins, you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but you don't want to be a
best
fighter.
pound for pound.
You know what it is? You don't want to be a fighter and be seen to be ducking other fighters, especially if
Yeah,
they're good
100%.
fighters. Because that always pisses me off. Where like we can name 3 fighters now that we would turn around and say one of them should at least fought each other already.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're as good as you say you are, why has this fight not happened yet? People make excuses. At some point in time, if the contracts are on the table, someone's avoiding signing them for whatever reason. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, 100%.
you know, we're an era where people are really ducking each other and, you know, not trying to make the big fights happen for whatever reason.
Facts.
Like, as boxing fans, we just want to see these great fights. Like, gone are the days where we're staying up till 5 a.m. to watch Mike Tyson knock someone out in 30 seconds. We were mad that it was over so quick, but it was dope.
Yeah.
Like, 5, 6 in the morning, Mike comes out, bang. Like, come on, man. We're not seeing that again.
Yeah.
Such is life, and what can we do?
But yes. All right, man. I think that's pretty much it.
All right, let's get into our final segment. So, done at here is. Maybe I should have looked at this. Shall we look at that video that you played by accident yesterday, Brinks? I still don't know what was going on there. Has it got sound?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hold up.
That you steal anything. I'm not. I'm just telling you that's what they want to do, and so I have to do that. I have to. If somebody, since they called us and told me to come and issue a criminal trespass warrant. Right. So this is what we're doing. Gunner, no, it's Corporal Officer Cuello. So this is what this Cuello. So this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go back to my patrol car. We're gonna.
No, I don't have to. What?
Because you're starting to obstruct what I'm telling you to do. Because you're refusing to go back to my car. This is your last chance. Let's go. Go.
No.
Go. Grab the leash. Grab the leash of the dog.
My dog.
I don't care. You're about to go to jail. You are going to go to jail.
For what?
Go to my patrol car.
For what?
I'll talk about it. Go ahead. Take the dog.
Stop. Like,
Take
for
the dog.
what? What am I going? This isn't even my dog. Like,
Okay.
I'll give you the dog.
Okay, then let it go.
For what? Like, I don't even want
Make it hurry.
Like,
Okay.
you're twisting it the wrong way, dude.
Let it
Like,
go.
stop.
Don't-
Like, I'm not even resisting arrest or
Because
anything.
you're going in handcuffs.
No, I'm
Walk the
not.
dog
Like,
away.
all I said
Just a little bit.
is that I wasn't gonna sign the paper. Like, you can't do this to me. I haven't done nothing.
You're going to go down.
Stop! Help! Help! Dude, I haven't done nothing. I didn't even do nothing. There's not even nothing or nothing on me, dude.
Now you're under arrest. Now you're under arrest. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Bend your legs and stand up.
Yeah, I can't watch stuff like that, man. It makes me very uncomfortable.
get annoyed and pissed off, man.
Yeah, it makes us so uncomfortable, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised America ain't burned down yet, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, there's too much of those videos there. You can go on YouTube and see way too much of this. So I don't like.
How can they get away with that type of move where they put the arms around the back, right, and then they trip them up so that their face hits the ground first?
The person dies. That's involuntary manslaughter. Like, what are you talking about, man? I could get someone knows, man.
This ain't isolated incidents. This is just police in general. This is just they just treat black people and people of color, women, just whatever, just abusing their authority all the time. And it's the same all over the world. And that's why I don't really have no sympathy for. I've never been a police sympathizer. That's why I don't. When you talk about I'll make a difference and join them and all that. That's just the kind of stuff.
You
that
see
I see.
that I don't
Do
get.
you know what I mean? Like it just.
We had one dilemma one time.
You see when I see when I see black people as police officers.
Live, man.
No. You see when I see black people as police officers, I'm just like, how? Like I understand the mentality of you want to get inside and change it from the inside, but you're not changing nothing. Like you're not changing nothing. Like come on, man. The police started because of slaves. So you're telling me you're happy to work for these people and nah, man. I just don't. I can't.
What an into the day. I ain't seen that video. I didn't know what I was gonna be like. It actually just pissed me off.
It's annoying.
Get me? It just pissed me off. It's like, I ain't got no time for them, bro. Like, no time at all, bro.
There's another link here that I basically just put in there. But this time it's a brother, right? And it's like, if you see what they're doing, for no reason, like this guy's obviously kind of standing up, whatever, talking to them, whatever, and then both punching him up. But he's strong, so it's like he's not falling to the ground, nothing.
Yeah.
Then the other guy wants to take out a taser and all sorts. It's like, why are you treating people like this? This is why, like you're saying, like I don't see the point. And every day people are talking about,
abuse.
Let's get in the system and we can integrate and.
I don't care about that system whatsoever. I don't care for it.
People are,
I've got no monologue for you today, guys. That was the easiest down at Ere I'll give. You get me? But as usual, I was saying on TDA, Bun Babylon.
Yeah, I'm not with the police thing, man.
Oh, let's get into our outro, man.
All right, thank you guys for a great show, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Big up our researchers as well who help us put the show together. And if you are interested in being a researcher, reach out to Emmanuel on his gram or his email address is like Emmanuel at the New Black.
Yeah.
Is it .com? No, there is. Do all emails have .com? Yeah, they do.
That picture looks mean mugging, like yo, like yo, came straight from the block, just finished shooting a video. Yeah,
literally. Is there a caller?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Valerie. How are you, babes?
Fine.
Valerie.
It's Valerie. I was surprised Marks wasn't showing the Uber girl.
Uber girl.
Yeah, the one who
made
a fake call and accused the Uber driver of rape to get her £50.
Just to get £50 back.
Oh.
Like, what the hell?
I don't think
someone's going to work trying to feed her family or whatever, and someone's that's fine. All right, have a good day, guys.
You too.
Yeah, we'll add it to his list. Thank you, hon.
Oh, what, that dumb girl with the Uber?
Yeah. All right, so big up everybody. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to send your dilemmas in, the number is 075-6484-1073. Also, please follow us on our social media platforms. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you would like to email, sorry,
You okay?
I'm glitching.
It's the Matrix.
It's been a week. If you'd like to inquire, I want to say inquire and email at the same time. If you want to inquire about the show or feature on the show, you are more than welcome to email us. And the email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great weekend. Be safe and be kind and all that great stuff. And we'll see you on Monday.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.